Okay, we should be live. I've updated my software here. All the things have been updated. Haven't used this computer in a while. This computer has become the designated computer that will receive the upgrades in 2026. I have decided. So this is the computer that will get some upgrades. And starting off with the first upgrade, we have upgraded to, as the title of the stream indicates, the Intel ARC Pro B70. This is the most powerful Intel graphics card on the market. So let me go ahead and show you guys the setup. Although I don't know if I should wait a little bit for some other people to join. We are going to be streaming games that'll be rendered at an output resolution of 3840 by 2160. So it's going to be 4K gaming. And man, basically I wanted to do, well, we will try a pure Intel build at some point, like Intel plus Intel. But right now I'm doing AMD plus Intel. And why does the output look so... Okay, I guess that's just me. That's just how it looks for some reason. I don't know. Why is the text look so blurry? I guess it's using some kind of dynamic resolution scale. Anyway, let's go ahead and show the settings. Let's bring up the task manager. There we go. And already it seems like there is some kind of driver bug with the way text is being displayed on my primary monitor. That is quite strange. It's very blurry on the OLED for some weird reason, and it's not blurry on the non-OLEDs. So I don't know if that's just me or if you guys are seeing that. That is kind of strange. It's blurry. I don't know why. Yeah, it's like super distorted. The text is super distorted on the screen. How does Task Manager look? I guess that looks okay. I guess that looks okay. Hey, Mark. So anyway, so this is the computer, guys. So this is what we're using. I gotta figure out why the primary monitor looks super blurry right now. But anyway, to go over the settings, this is the computer that is now designated as the computer to receive the upgrades. This is the... Whoa, is it blurry? No, I guess it's just... Yeah, the output on this screen is messed up. I might have to... You might have to, like, close the game or something and disconnect the cable and reconnect the cable. Something doesn't look right on the screen, the primary monitor. Maybe the refresh rate is too high. I don't know. There's some kind of bug. Okay, so this is it. This is the... Does it show up? Okay. The text on my OLED looks really blurry for some reason with this GPU. I may have to disconnect the DisplayPort cable and reconnect it or something. But anyway, this is the CPU that I'm using. AMD. You guys can see right here. The AMD Ryzen 9 9950X. So this is the flagship AMD CPU, 16-core, 32-thread Zen 5 architecture, released in the summer of 2024, and it does not have X3D. So this CPU is currently in the motherboard, and we will show the computer here. I guess I can move this. Well, maybe I should put it over here. Yeah, let's do that. Let me move this over. Well, let me move this guy over here, I guess. Okay. Let's open the case real quick. so it's not blurry. There we go. All right, this is it. It looks kind of. Let me see if I can get this a little better.
I have modded my Samsung flagship OLED TV used as a monitor to 4,000 nits and got it calibrated with a professional guy with equipment north of 30,000 United States dollars.
Wait, what? Wait, what? The part where it says with a professional guy with equipment north of 30,000 US dollars. You modded your Samsung OLED TV used as a monitor to 4,000 nits? 4,000? 4,000 nits? How many nits is the sun? How bright is that? 4,000 nits? Calibrated with professional guy. What did he do? How do you calibrate displays? I wonder, especially TVs. What was that process like? I'm really curious what that process is like. How do you calibrate a TV and OLED? Professional equipment, apparently. Just to quickly show off the specs, guys. So this is the computer. AMD Ryzen 9 9950X, 16 core, 32 thread. You can see we have 16 cores, 32 threads. And then the memory, we've got 96 gigabytes of G-Skill Trident Z5 Neo. You can see all four of the sticks right there. 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24. 96 gigabytes across four sticks. You can see that CPU temperature is like 51 degrees with that EK water block thick radiator with the RGB. That is the EK really thick overclocker's dream liquid cooler. And then right here you can see the Intel reference design, the B70 reference card with single 8-pin power connector. So unlike the AMD Radeon AI Pro, which I consider the equivalent to this from a productivity standpoint, although that card is probably going to outperform this one in gaming, both of them have the exact same amount of RAM. The difference is the Intel one uses less power by like 100 watts. So it's not going to be able to outperform a Radeon AI Pro, but it has the same amount of VRAM, and it is coming in cheaper. The retail price of this graphics card is $949.
Gaming on it just looks unreal now. Paired with the 5090, it could be the best visual gaming experience in the world.
Yeah, it is. It is for the next like year and a couple of months probably, because we're just over a year out from the RTX 6090. So, but yeah, you're right. That is the way to go. That is the ultimate gaming experience right now. 5090 plus a giant OLED, apparently calibrated by a professional guy with equipment north of 30,000 US dollars. But this is the B70. It may not be as powerful as a RTX 5090 or an AMD Radeon AI Pro, but it does have the exact same amount of VRAM. So let's go to the GPU here. Oh, by the way, to prevent Intel from stuttering and acting crazy like the last time I tested with the Intel ARC B580, I am using my integrated AMD Radeon graphics to encode and locally record the live stream using HEVC H.265. So you guys are viewing the stream courtesy of the Ryzen CPU's integrated graphics. You can see that's doing the streaming right now. And then the GPU, Intel ARC Pro B70. Now, I don't know how blurry. Is that? Okay, it's coming up clear. Okay. Because on my screen, there's some kind of bug. My OLED is extremely blurry right now, connected to the Intel GPU, but my non-OLED monitors are totally fine. So I gotta figure out what's going on here. It's super blurry, though. The text is really blurry. And then we get 32 gigabytes of system memory. We are using the latest Radeon, or not Radeon, the ARC Pro drivers, February 26. You can see we have 32 gigabytes of dedicated GPU memory. And then the second graphics card is the trusty Intel ARC Pro B70. So you can see down here underneath, I got my B70 up there, and then underneath it I have a second graphics card, the Intel ARC Pro B50. So I have both of the Intel Pro graphics cards. The B70, which is the flagship GPU, and the entry-level B50, which has 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So you have 16 gigabytes in this GPU and 32 gigabytes in the higher-end GPU. And the CPU is using Radeon integrated graphics to handle the live stream. That way, because I've noticed that there's some kind of weird problem, there's some limitation with Intel's drivers. If you want to live stream, and you're going to use Intel to render the game, you cannot also use Intel to encode while gaming. We've done it before, and that's the reason why it looked terrible and everything was so stuttery and PowerPoint slide deck style frame rates because of that. So by using AMD, and unfortunately I cannot use the Intel Core Ultra to do this, because if I use Intel Core Ultra, like if I want to do a pure Intel plus Intel, like for example, if I wanted to go all in with the Intel Core Ultra or even the latest Core Ultra Plus CPU, if I use this plus the Intel ARC Pro, the software that I use to stream, in this case OBS, will force the GPU to do the encoding. There is no way for me to access the integrated graphics on the Intel Core Ultra CPU because OBS doesn't do that. So the best way to get the best performance with an Intel graphics card is to actually pair it up with an AMD Ryzen CPU. That way you'll be able to get the best performance if local recording or live streaming while also gaming on the exact same GPU. So that is the only way to do it. So this is kind of a workaround, and the workaround is to use the competitor's CPU, and that is the Ryzen CPU. So that is what we're doing. We're going to take a look at several games here. This is going to be one of those where I don't spend too much time on a particular game. Maybe the last game that I test will be the one that I spend the most time on. But let's go ahead and take a look at this first one here, which is not super hard to run. This is going to be the latest gacha game from Griffin Link or something. I forgot the name of the developer, based out of China. So this is Arknights Endfield. We took a look at this game back in January. This is probably one of the biggest releases from January. The game has kind of fallen off. It's still a pretty fun game, but it has lost its appeal. I feel like it's kind of stagnant, and I don't really recommend it unless you like building bases and you like gacha mechanics. And I don't think a lot of people that watch my channel care for gacha games that much. But this game, it runs okay. One thing I will point out is we are playing the game at 4K resolution, and one of the things that, the first thing that happened was it warned me saying that my GPU is incapable of running the game. When I first started the game, I got a big warning message on the front loading page saying your GPU does not meet the minimum specifications for the game. So it automatically forced very low settings. So we are running the game at very low settings right now, and even at very low, it says hardware overloaded, please adjust settings. But I don't know, at the very low settings, it seems like it's running at 60 frames per second. It's gonna warn me if I try to do very high. Yeah, look at that. See, apply the graphic settings. Settings exceed recommended settings. You might experience problems such as game lags, hardware overheating, or high power consumption. We're gonna force this anyway. So now we are running a maximum settings. So let's go back in, and it seems to run fine. Yeah, it seems fine. Even at the highest visual settings, the game performs fine. So, although I am noticing... Yeah, it does look like in the stream footage there's a little bit of... No, it looks like it's running okay. Yeah, it seems like it's doing okay. The game must think you're on an iGPU. Yeah, it probably does. What's funny is that the shaders and everything still work. They still push everything to the maximum. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would say if you're someone who plays gacha games like this or Genshin Impact, Intel, even at 4K, the Intel GPU is totally fine. I mean, this looks like it runs totally fine. No problem. No problem. Let's teleport to another area, I guess. Let's go to an area that's more demanding. Let's go to the big city, Wuling. Let's go here. Well, the game, yeah, I could run this game at 4K on Strix Halo, but at very low settings. I think it was like very low or low settings, and it was playable on Strix Halo. So yeah, the B70 shouldn't have any issues running the game at 4K. And the thing is, the GPU is technically not power. Oh, there was a big stutter right there. That's okay, because we're just loading into the city. The thing to remember about B70 is definitely not a 4K graphics card. So it's not meant to game at 4K. However, it has 32 gigabytes of VRAM. That's kind of its claim to fame, because the only GPU that the gamers have access to that has 32 gigs of VRAM is the RTX 5090. And that card is incredibly expensive right now in the current market and very, very hard to obtain. And it's way faster than this GPU at gaming, but it costs like it's like you can buy 3 of these for the price of one RTX 5090. So you could easily build like an AI cluster that has what, like 84 gigs of RAM or something. Be curious to see how it runs. Let me see if I have that game installed on this computer. I can boot up Hogwarts Legacy if I have it installed. Let me see. Oh, I do have it installed. Okay, so we can take a look at that. Yeah, we can take a look at Hogwarts Legacy. This is probably the most interesting GPU, though, to test, because everybody was hoping for a true successor to the Intel Arc A770. So this is really the closest we're going to get to a true successor. Unfortunately, Intel doesn't care about gamers anymore, so they're really targeting... Well, I shouldn't say that. They just don't think that gamers... They realize gamers don't pay attention to them anymore, so they're really targeting the AI bros. Like, they're all in on AI. You guys know the drill. Intel's focusing on AI. AMD's also focusing on AI. The AI Radeon AI Pro. So the Pro card from AMD that we looked at last year is probably the closest to this card. It's more expensive. So this card is $950. That card is, I think, $1,200 to $1,300. So it's like, what, $300 more? It's about $300 more than this card. Same amount of VRAM, but it is definitely faster in gaming. It's faster in basically everything. Now, one thing that I am curious to look at, though, is AI performance. I want to see how Intel's B70 compares to the Radeon AI Pro for AI. A lot of people right now are comparing it to NVIDIA's RTX Pro 4000 Blackwell, but the RTX Pro 4000 is like over $2,000. It's like way more money than both the Intel card and the AMD card. So it's kind of like it's an unfair comparison, but it's similar comparison in terms of the, I guess, the product segment. Although NVIDIA is only offering 24 gigabytes of VRAM on their Pro card, while Intel and AMD are offering 32. So definitely Intel and AMD. Last year, AMD was offering the best value for AI if you didn't care about CUDA. And the biggest problem for AMD, and this is true for Intel as well, is the software ecosystem. NVIDIA is so far ahead with CUDA, and that is the reason why people just buy NVIDIA for AI. They don't think about the alternatives because they either don't know about the alternatives, or they don't care to learn about the alternatives, or they don't want to have to employ someone who has specialized in being able to architect a solution that works on something that is not CUDA based, or having to port something that is CUDA over to something that's not CUDA, and they'll have to leverage Rockham or Vulkan or OpenVINO, those sort of things. That's the reason why I feel like if someone is willing to learn and they're wanting to get into AI, Intel and AMD, especially right now, I would say AMD is in a really good spot with Rockham, even on Windows. I have had very good experience with the Radeon AI Pro for AI workloads on Windows, and I built a cluster. You guys saw me build that computer live last year with my Threadripper CPU. So I've got a pair of Radeon AI Pros plus Threadripper plus an Intel ARC GPU, like a entry-level single slot. So that is my main AI carrier PC for development work, and I'm also going to be using that computer for virtualization. We've got VMware Workstation installed on there, and we're doing things like virtualized routers and things of that nature. If you're interested in that kind of content, let me know, and I might make some videos on that. But I do want to leverage the Threadripper computer in a lot of different ways outside of just AI or gaming. And then for this computer, so going back to this setup, this is my, what I call as of 2026, this is my designated computer that I will be making upgrades and changes to throughout the year. So you guys can see this is the Asus X870E Crosshair Hero, and we're running 96 gigabytes of DDR5 at 6400 megatransfers. That's on all 4 sticks. We have a EK water block, the really big, thick AIO up there. And then I've got my Pro B70, my Pro B50. We have the power supply under there being cooled by those lower fans. And then I have what is an anti-sag bracket from Cooler Master that has RGB. I'm not using it right now. The reason why it's there is I was using it with my previous graphics card. The previous graphics card that was in here was my Sapphire Radeon RX 7900 XTX. So this computer had kind of been sitting around doing nothing for several months, and I was like, well, you know what, let's put the B70 in here and breathe some new life into this computer. Later this month, speaking of new hardware upgrades, later this month there is going to be a new CPU launching. It is going to be called the Ryzen 9 9950 X3D2, and I plan on getting that CPU, and I will be installing it in this very computer. So it will be replacing the CPU that's currently in here, which is the standard 9950X 16 core. So this will be removed from the motherboard, and I will be opting to swap in that dual X3D CPU. So it will be paired up with the B70. So we'll be able to max out the gaming potential of the B70 once I upgrade to that X3D CPU. Now at 4K, it's going to make about a 5% difference at 4K gaming, but that's still a notable difference. It's a measurable difference, 5%, versus using a non-X3D or an Intel CPU. So I know that was a whole bunch. That was basically me doing a really long monologue about the PC. Let me go ahead and let's put this side panel on it again. This card does have coil whine, by the way. I can hear it. So I want to put the side panel back on. Just put it like this. The view will be better that way. Okay. Does Maxon Cinema 4D support RGB? I do not know. I do not know. The price of the 5090 is barbaric. It's the same with 3D rendering. Most software only run good with CUDA. I wouldn't say that they only run good with CUDA. You can run them on OpenCL, like using a Radeon card. They won't run as fast, but they'll still run totally fine. Is there a reason why there's no overlay to show? Because of this game. I can try to see if it works. This game, because of the weird kernel level anti-cheat that this game uses, because like Chinese gacha games use an insane amount of security for anti-hacking. It's so weird. Like, let me try to do it. I mean, it might just crash the game or something. Man, I gotta figure out the monitor thing. This game is not on Steam, so I can't like show you guys the Steam overlay. I'm gonna try the Afterburner overlay and see if it works. Oh boy, okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, though it's giving me a bunch of weird error messages. I do not want to upgrade. I probably should upgrade the Afterburner, though. It probably doesn't know what this GPU is. Okay, so you guys can see it is okay. Ignore the fact that it says RX 9070 XT. And ignore the fact that it says 9950X 3D. Actually, let me fix those labels. Those are my custom labels. But that's incorrect. I gotta fix the names. This is not an X3D. This is an X. This is an X. This is X. This is not a 9070 XT. This is a ARC Pro B70. This shows how long it's been since I've used Afterburner on this computer. Because the 9070 XT hasn't been in this computer for like 9 months or something. Okay, now it has the correct names. What's a Duron 1200? Which PSU am I using? I think it's my MSI Meg 1300 watt PCIe 5.0 ATX 3.1 or whatever. It's the first PSU that I bought that came with the native 12 volt high power cable. So we got a 1300 watt power supply in here. Okay, so I think this game, you know, the game is capped to 60 FPS, so it's like, yeah, we are getting good performance. We are running the game at max settings. So yeah, this one's good. Let's go ahead and switch to another one. You guys can see the GPU is barely doing much. It's running at like 137 watts. It's not loud at all, even though it's a blower style. There is coil whine. I could hear the coil whine when I remove the glass panel. So that's a little unfortunate. But it's also not super loud. It's quiet enough that I can hear the coil whine. 75 degrees, that's because that's the temperature. That's good. It's got very good temperature, very good power consumption. Clock speed looks like 2500 megahertz to 2700 megahertz. Let's go ahead and run through the little park area here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it runs. Actually, let's do something here. Let's level up some characters. Let's level up some weapons. Let's get some of these. Yeah, let's go do this real quick. This will be a good way to test the GPU in an actual combat scenario. Yeah, it's dipping. You can see 50 something, 55, 53 on the big explosions. It's dropping FPS. Oh, you can feel those frame drops. Oh, man. It's holding. It's trying to hold to 60. It dips below 60, though, in combat. At 4K gaming. This is native 4K gaming, by the way. And I can hear it more. I can hear it now. When it was doing that, it was stretching its legs. I could hear the blower style going when it was dipping because it was going all out. 77 Celsius. Look at those temperatures. It's a good temperature. They're going all out. They're going all out. Everyone's just doing the. Everyone's just spamming ults like it's some kind of gank in League of Legends. Everyone's just going in, just go in like a team fight, like a team fight. Everyone just go in. Yeah, look at that. Oh man. Oh yeah, yeah. It disconnected somehow. Oh, I gotta check something. Yeah, it dropped. Yeah, I gotta fix it. I can see it. Hold on, I'm gonna have to fix it. Hold on. I don't know why it disconnected. Okay, let me see something. Is it showing? Yeah, I gotta fix it. So this is the PCI bus on the Intel is probably having some kind of problem. We saw this last time with the B580. I'll have to fix it. Let me see what I can do to actually fix that though. It's just overloaded when that happens. Not sure why that's happening though, because we're not using the GPU for that purpose. That is a bit strange. But I saw it. It was doing the same thing that the B580 did. Only not as bad because this GPU is more powerful than that GPU. It's dropping again? Yeah, I guess it is. Is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, but what's weird is I don't see any frame drops, though. Like, I can see it. Yeah, I see what you guys are seeing. For me, the gameplay stays smooth. But, and OBS doesn't say I'm dropping frames, but clearly it looks like it's stuttering on the actual stream. That has something to do with the display out. The viewport from the GPU to monitor is causing that. And this is why, yo, yeah, that looks pretty bad. I'm gonna see what I can do to fix that. That's why the game is saying, hey, this GPU is not powerful enough for the game. What I can do is I can try lowering the graphics settings in the game and see if that improves it. Well, let me see if I can, if I lower the, yeah, let me lower the graphics settings and see if that fixes it. Because the game claims that this GPU is not powerful enough for the game. Which is kind of ridiculous, but maybe it was actually correct. So let's try very low settings. It recommends very low settings for this GPU. Alright, that definitely does seem smoother. What's interesting about this game, even when you lower the graphics settings, this game doesn't actually look that bad when it's on lower settings. Where's that thing? There's like a... Oh my goodness, how do I get that? There's like a thing there. Oh my... Are you serious? What? Do I need a taller character? What the... You gotta be kidding me. Okay, there's some kind of trick to that. That's ridiculous. Alright, let's try this again. Working on his weapon. Grand Vision. Don't have enough. I need to do more. Alright, we're gonna try again and see if it still drops now that we're running on very low settings. That was how I fixed it when we were streaming Nightreign on B580 last year. Is it still lagging? It looks like it's okay. Yeah, on very low, it's not lagging anymore. Yeah, so you gotta lower the graphic settings. The GPU, the game can't, or the GPU can't handle the game at max settings. Now, realistically, at 1080p, it can handle it at max settings. It's just because, remember, this is 4K gaming. Okay. You're getting one on Monday. You're gonna do some comparisons. Did you get yours from Newegg? You know Newegg has these guys. Micro Center has them also. So if you live near a Micro Center, it's very easy to get one of these. But if you don't live near Micro Center, Newegg has them in stock. Newegg's got a lot of them. So Newegg's the dealer. You want to go get one from the dealer? You go to Newegg. They've got a ton of these cards. They're claiming that it's currently the best seller on their website. Who would have thought, man? I don't even know, like, how many people are buying this for AI. I guess there's some people that are buying it for AI. I feel like there's a bunch of gamers that really wish that Intel made a gamer version of this GPU, because this is literally the true successor to the A770. It's in the name, B70, and it's the biggest die. It's significantly faster than the B580. What I'm really curious to see is how this compares to the Radeon AI Pro R9700 that I have. That is the GPU that I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons with. This versus that. Now, that GPU is more expensive. It is like $1,200. I think like $1,200, I think is the... Oh, it's gone up in price. I was looking at it the other day to see what the price comparison was. It's like, depending on where you are, it's $1,200 to $1,300 right now. So it's, what is that? $350, $300 to $350 more than this graphics card. Is that right? Yeah, it's about that. It's like $300 more. Same amount of VRAM, but it's probably faster. You're curious how this game handles Indiana Jones? I don't have Indiana Jones, but I'll test Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, it is capped to 60. All right, let's go ahead and... Well, let's exit out of this. Let's just exit the game. And I'm going to remove... Do you think I should leave the Afterburner up, or should I use the Steam one? Let's just leave Afterburner for now. So I'm going to fire up Hogwarts Legacy. And we're going to test Hogwarts Legacy next. For those wondering, while that's booting up, this is the PC. X870E Crosshair Hero from Asus. 4 sticks of G-Skill Trident Z5 Neos running at 6400 megatransfers. There's the Intel ARC Pro B70, and underneath it is an Intel ARC Pro B50. Dual GPUs. Dual GPUs. You know me, I always go multi-GPU. So we got dual graphics cards. B70 plus B50 in the house. And we're using the AMD Ryzen 9 9950X 16-core, 32-thread flagship. 5.7 gigahertz. Golden sample cores on the primary CCD. This thing is fast. No, I am capturing on the Ryzen CPU's integrated Radeon graphics. We're using GPU encoding courtesy of the Radeon graphics on the Ryzen CPU. If I were to use the ARC GPU, it would become a PowerPoint slide presentation, just like I showed last year when we were trying this with the B580. And you cannot use an Intel Core Ultra either. Intel Core Ultra, you cannot choose it because of the limitations of OBS. So you have to go Ryzen. If you want the best performance while streaming, you must go Ryzen if you plan to use an Intel ARC. That is the strangest thing to say, but yes, the best combination for Intel is to be paired up with an AMD Ryzen CPU. Okay, so you can offload the encoding to the Ryzen. So let me switch over here to Hogwarts Legacy. The game should... Okay, it's up. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Let me shrink this back down. They're basically the same. Yeah, we will look at that in a second. Hold on. So let's so you guys can see this is the performance. Oh, it's doing the thing again though, guys. See, this is the thing, and this would be worse if I was trying to encode using it. Because OBS is telling me I have 0 dropped frames. Actually, let me check something. Yeah, the lagging is not... It's not because of the Ryzen encode. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what to do to fix that besides lower graphics settings. So what are we running the settings at right now? So for me, it's smooth. But for you guys, it's not. Because I can see it's kind of like choppy. For some reason. We're using FSR 3. Uncapped frame rate. What is my... Ultra settings. Wait, what's the... Oh, it's doing 4K using FSR 3 upscale. FSR 3 quality means 1440p upscaled to 4K. So let's try... First of all, let's try Intel XESS. Intel XESS quality. Ultra settings. No, it still does that for some reason. It's totally fine for me. Oh, I do see some dropped frames. So we may have to try doing something a little bit different here. We have to drop settings. Let's go with medium. Does that help? No. Doesn't really help. Although for me, it's still smooth. So I'm wondering... Unfortunately, there's... Well, I can try one thing. I can try one thing. XCSS will work similar performance, but you can use a... Do performance. 1080p. 1080p. 1080p upscale, let's see. Why does it look choppy, though? Hold on, I want to try something. I'm going to... Whoops, I'll need to do that. Hold on, guys. I am going... It's going to look like I disconnect. The stream's going to look like it went offline. I'm going to change my encoder settings. So, stay tuned. How about this? Is that better? Is that better? It seems to be a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, that seems to be working better. It still looks a little bit choppy when I look at that screen, but it seems to be doing better. Okay. That doesn't look like 60 to me, though. Hold on, what is that outputting at? Should be 60. Yeah, it's 60, but it doesn't look like 60 to me. What you guys are watching doesn't look like a constant 60. It looks like a weird, choppy frame rate. But it's not like a terrible frame rate anymore. You guys, to me, that does not look smooth. That output does not look smooth. Yeah, but I'm pushing 60 FPS output, so there's something weird. This is what I mean by it's an Intel driver thing. So the way I get around it is by I offload to the AMD Radeon integrated graphics. Now, what I wanted to do, but I didn't have enough time, I wanted to remove my Intel ARC B70, and I wanted to put in an AMD GPU, like an actual AMD GPU, so I didn't have to use the integrated Radeon on the CPU, because that might work better, but I don't know. There's some kind of weird duplication of traffic going along the PCIe bus. I'd have to get the debugs out to look at what's going on, but it looks like Intel, there's some duplicating traffic that's just filling up the PCIe bus unnecessarily and causing it to lag the stream like that. Because this never happens when I use AMD Radeon cards. It's always smooth. But for some reason, Intel just has these issues. This is the reason why Intel's not viable, though, for professional streaming. Like, legit. I mean, okay, you can use the Intel card to encode the stream. You cannot use the Intel card to render the game. Rendering the game is what's causing this behavior when streaming. Now, for me, the game is smooth. Like, it's silky smooth. 112 frames per second right now. And it's totally playable. Like, for me, playing the game like this. But for the people watching it, it does not look good. That is the problem. It is a problem with the Intel GPU. It's an Intel driver problem. It's well documented. There was a Reddit thread about it like a year ago. And the guy ended up like returning his GPU because he just gave up and couldn't get it to work. And then the thread just kind of died and went away. Which was unfortunate because that was the closest, that was the best thing I had to try to like troubleshoot the problem. But yeah, unfortunately, so I will say this though. This GPU, because it is way more brute force powerful compared to the B50, it is handling the stream better. Like, this frame rate is not terrible compared to what we saw last year on B50 or B580. But it is still not good. Like, that does not look smooth. The game is smooth, though. I would not say that. I don't agree with that statement. Intel has touted their encoder. They even teamed up with XSplit, which is a competitor to OBS. So maybe if I use XSplit, it'll work better. There may be some kind of optimizations in there with XSplit, because they did partner with XSplit, and they showcased AV1 on XSplit. Like back when they showed Elden Ring, that was like the use case that they demonstrated, and it was fine. They weren't streaming though; they were local recording. Now I'm actually doing both. I'm local recording and streaming at the same time, and rendering the game. You prefer AverMedia cards and boxes? Like, AverMedia doesn't have encoders anymore, though. What's an AverMedia card that has an encoder in it, besides the old Live Gamer HD from, like, 2012? Because that's the last time I had an AverMedia that did the actual encoding, it was the AverMedia Live Gamer. And that thing's old. That's not as good as, like, the GPU encoders anymore. You need an insane bitrate for that. And that's not viable for streaming, because then your viewers can't watch you if you're having to like push 50 megabit per second stream footage. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not viable. Yes, it's a problem with doing two things. The GPU can only handle one thing. You can either play the game and that's it, or you can stream and that's it. You can't do streaming and gaming on the GPU together. It creates a problem. Wait, I just now discovered this? I played through the entire game and just now discovered this? Okay, hold on. So this is 1080p. That's 1080p upscale to 4K at medium settings. So let's do XESS quality. This is 1440p upscaled to 4K. This is why I love 4K gaming, because 4K gaming benefits the most from upscalers. Because quality basically means you're playing the game at 1440p on a 4K monitor without any scaling issues. And then if you're playing on performance, you're basically playing the game at 1080p on a 4K monitor. And this is a glorious 240 hertz OLED that I'm playing this game on right now. 32-inch LG Ultra Gear OLED. This seems pretty good. Fake Frames is gonna have to tell me, because Fake Frames asked me to showcase this game. So he'll probably have to give you the comparison numbers. I don't have them off the top of my head. Actually, you know what? I can pull them up real quick. Hold on. I haven't used this computer in so long that it's having to update. Even the browser needs to download an update. Okay, here it is. Wait, hold on. I guess I'll have to move this here. Put this here. Okay, Hogwarts Legacy benchmarks. Hogwarts Legacy benchmarks. Okay, here it is. We're doing what are we doing right now? We're doing 1440p. 1440p RTX 4070 isn't even listed. Okay. 6900 XT. Somebody, the Micro Center guy told me that it's 6900 XT performance. That's what he said in the store. Okay. 77 FPS. What are we getting right now? Hold on, what are they doing? Ultra? They're doing ultra. Hold on, I gotta put it at the same settings. I gotta go back to ultra. Ultra. The desired settings are more than what your GPU can handle, it says. RT disabled. I have RT disabled. Okay. Where? I don't know where exactly they benchmarked. All right, here we go, guys. Take a look. Oh, wait. Whoops. Let me move this.
I'd rather scrape cauldrons than work with
Move this, like, right here. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. There we have it. Ultra settings, 1440p. We're getting about 78 frames per second. That lines up with what the Micro Center guy told me. He literally told me it's like an RX 6900 XT. And look at this, 77 FPS. And look at the benchmark results, 6900 XT, 1440p, 77 FPS. So it's basically a 6900 XT. That is not bad. Where does the 4070 fall into that? 4070 is like a 3080, right? Or like a 6800 XT. So this is basically what I thought it would be. My system's so powerful that it doesn't really do anything to the frame rate, though. I mean, you have to keep in mind this computer is so powerful, and we've offloaded the encoding to a GPU, so it's not like the CPU is affected by the live stream. The CPU's not doing anything to render the game. So no, this is the same results you would get if you weren't streaming. The only thing that's affected is what you guys see, the output. But the gameplay that I get to experience is the same as if I wasn't streaming. So this is definitely faster than the B580, though. This is like a lot better than the B580. I'll tell you that. It certainly is better than B580. So 1440p, man, this seems like a pretty good card for 1440p gaming. At least with just a sample size of 2 games. This doesn't seem too bad. Okay, the people are showing up now. This is daytime. Okay, so now it's not night anymore. So maybe the lighting, the global illumination is going to be more stressful on the GPU. Fake Frames is saying this is like 4070 Super or 7800 XT. Okay, isn't that kind of like 6900 XT though? Isn't 6900 XT the same as those GPUs? The guy at Micro Center told me 6900 XT. That's what he said. So, and he's got some kind of insider knowledge because he told me that an Intel sales guy came to the store, like they had to do a training from Intel. Intel brought somebody in, and the sales guys had to go to a training class, and somebody literally raised their hand and asked the Intel guy, like, what is the equivalent competitor GPU? And literally the Intel person said, if we're talking Radeon, 6900 XT, and if we're talking NVIDIA, RTX 5060 Ti. Now, is that right? 5060 Ti? What do you guys think? You guys have to tell me if that sounds right. I don't know if that's right, though. 5060 Ti? How does a 5060 Ti compare to a 4070 Super? $6900 XT is really bad, an old RT. I don't think they were talking about RT, though. $5060 Ti is $3070 Ti. Really? It's that bad? 4070 Super is a touch behind 5070. Well, okay, you guys remember what I said. What did I say when I predicted where Intel's flagship would land? And I said this, what feels like almost 2 years ago. What did I say? Fake Frames knows what I said. What was my prediction for Intel GPU? The flagship Intel GPU that I said about 2 years ago. I know I said it in 2024. I said RTX 4070. I estimate that the Intel's flagship Battle Mage GPU will be an RTX 4070 class of GPU. And that is mostly true. It's kind of dumb that the 4070 is not on these charts. But it makes sense, because look at this. Hold on. Intel ARC Pro B70. Oh, look, Tech Power Up claims that it's like a 6950 XT. And the 4070 is literally per Tech Power Up. It is 2. Oh, you guys can't see it. Whoops. Hold on. Per Tech Power Up, I was right on the money, man. I said 4070 performance 2 years ago, and it's right there in the same ballpark as the RTX 4070. I called it. I called it 2 years ago. And I was right. Remember what I said? I said if it's RTX 4070 levels of performance, I'm buying it. That's exactly what I did. Because it meets my expectations. I have realistic expectations for the engineers. RTX 4070, Radeon RX 6950 XT. So the guy at Micro Center wasn't too far off when he said RX 6900 XT. So Fake Frames is saying 7800 XT. 7800 XT is still in the same ballpark. There's like a 5% difference there. So they're relatively the same. The GRE, that's another one. The 4070 Super, that's another one. The 3080 Ti, that's another one. 5070s where it's starting to pull ahead, that's about 9% faster per Tech Power Up. I don't know how exactly Tech Power Up's getting these results. So I'm happy. I called it, man. I called it 2 years ago, and I was right. I said 4070 performance, and this is exactly what I got. 4070 performance on a 32 gigabyte Intel GPU 2 years later. Yes, this is the big battle mage. This is it. The big one. This is definitely more powerful than a B580 by a large margin. You can go and look at the B580 way down here. Where is it? B580, man. B580 is like 60% of this graphics card. So this is a significant jump over B580. All the way up to rival a 7900 GRE and a 4070 Super and 4070 and 6950 XT. Really, really good stuff. This is Intel going all out. This is Intel powering up to its full Super Saiyan potential. It can't even go Super Saiyan. It's basically trying to go like Kaioken attack. You know what I'm talking about? Like Kaioken times 3, times 4. Yes, I'm using the Pro drivers. Of course I'm using the Pro drivers. Absolutely. I wouldn't use anything else. The specs on Tech Power Up seem wrong. There's no way this card only has 16 megs of L2 cache. It has to have... Oh yeah, I forgot to discuss that. Let's discuss the specs. Let's analyze all the nerd knobs. Look at this. Check it out. 4096 cores. This literally looks like an AMD graphics card that Raja Koduri would have made. 256 TMUs, 128 ROPS, 32 gigs of memory, GDDR6, 256-bit bus. 256-bit bus. That's how you know this is the gamer's graphics card, because it's 256-bit bus. 256-bit bus. That's really good. You know what I just realized, though? So, the Hogwarts Legacy results are in line with what... So basically, we're getting FPS similar to the 6900 XT right now, per the Tech Power Up review. So, it does seem... It seems like it's falling in the correct range. So yeah, I kind of figured Intel's best would kind of get close to a 3080 Ti. That's what I remember saying. But I said realistically it would be an RTX 4070. And it is closer to an RTX 4070 per Tech Power-Ups results. Yeah, it's met. You can say consider the pro drivers aren't for gaming, but it, from my experience, like using pro drivers and non-pro drivers, and I've done the same thing on AMD. I've used the pro drivers on the pro card, and I've used the non-pro drivers on the pro card, and I have virtually seen no difference. The main difference is going to come down to if you're using ISV certified software. Gaming, it's not really going to matter. Realistically, go talk to any software developer, any game developer. They'll tell you if you're on the pro drivers or the non-pro drivers, the game literally doesn't care. The driver literally doesn't care. There's nothing in there that's checking for differences. The difference is going to come down to if you're using an ISV certified application, which is typically like a CAD application or some kind of workstation application, that there is an account team. There's something called an account team that AMD or Intel or NVIDIA has that covers a customer, which could be, you know, a company that makes government contract software, like Jacobs Engineering, for example, could have a custom CAD program for developing missiles or rockets or something. And those applications will be using required ISV certified signatures and certificate of authenticity and those sort of things that run at the session layer. If we're talking OSI model, those are the sort of things where the driver will matter. But for what we're doing as like just gaming, literally no one cares. The pro driver, the non-pro driver, there's no difference. Now I will say there is the only thing that I will add. I'll preface this that when it comes to the driver test team, so like the post-sales support guys that work for the Radeon department or the GeForce department or the ARC department, those guys will test a game. They'll test like an early build of a game before it goes to market. Like basically they'll get like a review version of the game or maybe even an earlier like DT build, like a developer build. They will test that with their driver set, and they'll basically have to sign off, I certify that the game runs without any issues that I have seen on this version of the driver, and then they'll commit that. And then if it's going to go through the Windows approval system for the WICL certification, then that happens. And that's the only difference, because with pro drivers, no one's doing that. Like the test team doesn't certify the game on the pro drivers. So that's really the only difference. But when it comes to the performance difference, there's really no performance difference if all the person did was literally test the game for like 4 hours and in different areas, different predetermined levels that the developer provided. Like this is an outside level, this is an indoor level, this is like an underground cave, this is like a sky fortress level. You know, like, and they sign off. It's like, oh, I didn't see any problems. Okay, good. Now it's certified to work on the game-ready driver. That's how that process works. So they don't do that on the pro driver. So I guess to your point about the pro driver, yeah, they didn't test it, but it's the same code under the hood. So it's not like it's going to change anything dramatically. Unless they did specific things to change like API calls or library function calls or method calls to do certain things like memory management a different way, to tweak like how much VRAM is being allocated for a certain texture. Yeah, those type of tweaks. Yeah, those things, which are usually like right around launch or right after launch, those are the sort of things that can make a difference. But you know, that's not really going to make a huge. You're not gonna. What I'm trying to say is, just by using the pro driver, I'm not losing like 50% performance. I'm not going to gain 50% performance by switching to the non-pro driver. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's not how these things work. Is B70 the right strategic approach? Well, Intel's focusing on AI, so yeah, I would probably say yes. Pro drivers also have a different cadence. Pro drivers don't release as frequently as the non-pro drivers because it's a different team. The team is working with business class level accounts. They're doing like testing and validation for business customers, not like run-of-the-mill large demographics and market segments. So there's a huge difference there. Have you tried any AI tasks with it yet? Not yet. I will do that at some point later. I want to cover the thing that people have probably, like the $1 million question on everyone's mind that no one has provided any answers on is how does this thing handle games? So that's the purpose of this live stream. And I can't believe I've been sitting here playing the game and you guys have been staring at the browser the whole time. Like I've been like running around. Okay, anyway. So that's Hogwarts Legacy. The game, for a game that came out in, what was this, 2023? The game is 3 years old now. Still holds up pretty well, looks pretty good. 2023 was a big year for games. 2023, man. Starfield, Fires of Rubicon, Hogwarts Legacy, Lords of the Fallen, Lies of P. 2023 was the year of gaming for the decade. At least I feel like it was. Because it had so many things. Forspoken. I mean, there was so many games. Was Dead Space Remake also that year? Alright, well, it looks like it runs this okay. Let me see, is there anything else in here that we can do to tweak the performance? So we're running it at Ultra, by the way. Ultra, 1440p upscale, XESS, frame gen's off. What if we do, like, balanced? Balanced is 2259 by 1271p. I need to memorize that resolution. I don't like balanced because it's this weird number. Like, it's not 1080, it's not 1440, it's some weird number. It's some non-standard media resolution. Okay, so it runs... It looks okay, and it runs slightly better. I still think this is like a relatively good 1440p graphics card, though. Because remember, B580 is a 1080p graphics card. So this being a much more powerful graphics card from Intel, I would expect this to be a 1440p graphics card. With Radeon 6900 XT levels of performance, yeah, this is pretty much a 1440p card. $1440p. Yeah, it seems like it's 1440p. Alright, well that's Hogwarts Legacy. Someone was asking ray tracing. I think I have to like restart the game if I'm gonna do that. Do you guys want to see what happens? Let's turn this on. I don't know, do I have to restart the game? Medium. Shadows. Medium. Reflections, medium. Apply. Oh, I gotta restart the game. What do you want me to do? Do you guys want to see ultra ray tracing or medium? I don't think it's going to do that well on ultra. I have a hunch that ultra's going to be pretty bad. What do you guys think? Medium? I think medium is a good choice for ray tracing. Medium is fine, then try ultra. It's not gonna kill it. Okay. I have to exit. I have to restart the game. You know what? I kind of want to test Elden Ring Nightreign, because remember when we tried to play Nightreign on the B580? It was so bad. I had to play it at like 1080p minimum settings, or like low settings. Why is this not? Okay, there we go. All right, let's go back in. I really want to see what happens if I do that. Like, I haven't played Nightreign since December 29th of last year. Ray tracing is CPU limited on every game. Or on every GPU in this game. Yeah, but we got a powerful CPU now. We got big ryzen. We got big ryzen. Yeah, later this month I will be giving the B5 or the B70. Yeah, I'll be upgrading the B70's motherboard that we're using right now to a Ryzen Dual X3D. I'll be putting that in. See how that goes. Why do you think B580 struggles so much more? It's not why do I think. Apparently you didn't watch the live stream we did last year with the B580. I have all the results. Okay, this is with the ray tracing, guys, on medium. Ray tracing, we got ray tracing everything medium. Let's check it out. B580 is bad unless you have a 1080p gaming monitor. It's okay. It's playable. Now, I can see you guys are seeing kind of like a stuttery stream, but the gameplay for me is normal. But see, that's an Intel thing. The stuttery stream is an Intel thing. That's so weird. I don't know what that is. I don't know why they haven't fixed that. It's been like that since when the B580 launched. X3D will make a difference, but you know the thing is we're outputting at 4K, so it's like it'll make like a 5 to 10% difference. As long as the game is playable, though, I think that's what counts. This is stuff's randomly there. The game world in Hogwarts Legacy is surprisingly good. The open world is very big. They made a really good game. This game met all my expectations. Oh yeah, look, check that out. Check out that ray trace glitchy water right there. Courtesy of the Intel ARC. With the non-ray tracing, that doesn't happen. Now try ray reconstruction. Ray regeneration? How do I do that? Isn't that like an AMD thing? Select the GPU. You guys want to run this off of the Radeon integrated graphics or the Pro B50? We got a Pro B50 in here. Okay, it doesn't have that. Geometry? What is geometry quality? This is the denoiser, isn't it? What it says, ray tracing geometry quality. Intel new Rave Lake? What is that? That sounds like some fake news that somebody just made up. That sounds so fake. One of these, what does this do? Ambient occlusion. Oh, ambient occlusion's off. Oh, let's turn ambient occlusion on. All right, now we got ray tracing ambient occlusion. Hold on, I just thought of another game I want to test. There's another game. Is it on here? Please be installed. Oh, it's installed. Yeah, we're gonna. I know what game we're testing next. I know exactly what game we're testing next. Is this game on here? Oh yeah. Okay, I know what games we're testing next. I'm really curious to know how this GPU handles those games. Alright, let's take a look. We've got ray traced ambient occlusion on. Seems like at medium it does okay. Seems like it's okay. This GPU has so much VRAM that it doesn't have to nerf the textures. You know what I'm saying? Like on an 8GB GPU, this game constantly shuffles the textures. You have so much texture popping on an 8GB GPU. But look at that. We're using 12.4 gigabytes of VRAM out of 32 gigs of VRAM. No problem. It's so weird. It's like I don't have any desire to ever use a gaming graphics card because they have such low amounts of VRAM. It's just like these pro cards seem so much better. They're just so much better. They're way more money. Don't get me wrong. They're a ton of money. Like $949 for like an RTX 4070 sounds awful, but 32 gigs of VRAM, bruh. 32 gigs. I gotta have those 32 gigs of VRAM. I can't imagine using a GPU with less than 32 gigs of VRAM. I was spoiled by the RTX 5090, and then I had to have an AMD card that had more than 16 or 24. So I had to get that Radeon AI Pro. That gave me 32 gigs on an AMD Radeon card. Now I got a 32 gig on an Intel Arc. Yeah, those Nvidia cards, the mainstream Nvidia gamer cards are garbage. They're literally garbage. Texture popping everywhere, out the wazoo, having to rely on frame gen for literally like everything.
Who lived here, I wonder?
Such a joke. This stuff is the real deal, man. Like 32 gigs. It's like 32 gigs or go home. It's like, get on my level. 32 gigs or get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. If you don't have a 32 gigabyte GPU, you're doing it wrong in 2026. That's what it feels like. I'm so spoiled by having so much VRAM and not having to care. Just crank all the textures up. Imagine, like, Skyrim mods because you don't have to worry about VRAM. Yeah. Well, I've been saying that too about Nvidia texture popping and terrible VRAM amounts. Yeah. Yeah, all those screenshots of games like Monster Hunter last year. People were showing like those blocky triangle humans that were they're making fun of the game, thumbs down on the game, negative Steam reviews, all because they're using some dumb 8 gigabyte graphics card. Or worse, is some rando thinks that their GTX 1060 should be able to handle a game like Monster Hunter Wilds or Hogwarts Legacy at like 1440p. I mean, talk about unrealistic expectations. Because I know a bunch of people that have that mentality. Like, I had one guy that literally got mad at, I'm trying to remember what game it was. It was either Starfield. It was either Starfield or it was, some other game that came out a few years ago. He was all mad because get this, his GTX 970. He was like, this is poor optimization. These developers are so lazy. I mean, I have a 1440p 144 hertz monitor. I should be able to play the game at playable frame rates. And I'm like, well, what GPU do you have? The best GPU, GTX 970, the legendary. I'm like, no comment. Bruh. Nah. So, I didn't have anything to say. You know, like, really? Really? You really believe that a modern DX12 game should be able to, like, your GTX 970 should be able to handle a modern game at 1440p high settings. Like, that GPU has 3.5 plus 512 gigs of RAM per the class action lawsuit against NVIDIA, which NVIDIA lost. Yeah, the Intel does. I don't like how it does the weird, like, the way it looks on the stream looks pretty bad. I don't know why it's so bad, but I mean it's kind of choppy. All right, guys. Well, that's Hogwarts Legacy. Let's move on to the next game. It runs pretty good. It's playable. It's totally playable. Let me see. Where's that other game that I wanted to test? Yeah, here we go. Last time I played this, November 15th, 2025. Square Enix. Luminous Productions. Did it freeze? Did the game literally like freeze? Or is it... Oh, okay, that's weird. It like paused somehow and then it just like went back in. Here we go. This is it. Forspoken, yeah. Forspoken, yeah, it's here, it's back. All right, let's do this. 4K. I don't know why it wasn't at 4K in the first place. 120 FPS cap, because that's as high as it goes. Oh wait, I wasn't done with the graphics settings. Ultra high settings. Wait, hold on. I don't... What? No. Don't do ultra high. Go to custom. It automatically does FSR quality for ultra? Like, what? So it's gonna be 1440p max? Alright, let's do... It looks like you have to do AMD. You can't use XESS. Hold on. How do I do XESS? Oh, okay, here we go. XESS ultra qual. Let's do quality. It says 1440p. We're gonna do high. No, not dynamic. Texture ultra high. Crank that VRAM. Crank up all that VRAM. Yeah, use up all the VRAM. We got so much VRAM. Model detail. Okay, that's as high as it goes. That's as high as it goes. Looks like everything else is maxed out. Wait, standard? Ambient occlusion, but wait, what? I guess standard, because this is gonna be an AMD thing. Ray traced ambient occlusion is enabled. Hey, tech guy, did you ever test the Radeon AI Pro? Because that would be the most similar card to this. If not, I mean, I'll do the comparison at some point. I'll have to pull it out of my cluster, my AI cluster that I've got right now. But I'm curious, like, if you have any intention to test the Radeon AI Pro at some point, because this card and that card are kind of like what I consider rivals because they're similar in price. The AMD card's like $300 more. Both of them are professional cards. Both of them have blower style coolers. You have a boatload of NVIDIA ones. Do you have NVIDIA Pro cards? So like the RTX Pro 4000. All right, let's get into the game. All right.
What were we doing again?
Oh man,
Get your
40
act
something
together,
frames
will
per
you?
second.
Yeah.
Forspoken. 40 FPS. It's struggling. Let's go inside real quick.
This seems like a good place to take a rest.
All right.
don't
If
you
we're
think?
indoors, does it go above
Well,
60?
Look who's starting to understand where humans can and
It
can't
doesn't
sleep.
go above
Rather
60.
niche skill.
So that ray tracing setting is probably killing the frame rate. You've got A770, B50, B60, 70 soon. 9060 XT, 9070. So okay, so you've got the two AMD cards that I don't have. I have, out of the RDNA 4, I only have the 9070 XT. The NVIDIA, I don't have any of the NVIDIA 50 series cards except a 5090. Ada 1000, Ada. Okay, so you got quite a few pro cards. Yeah, I'd be interested to see, because I recently I think what got me on this weird thing where it's like now I only really pay attention to professional cards is when I got the Radeon AI Pro last year. I was amazed at like how much AI stuff you can do with that, because it's like you either pay $3,000 plus for a 5090, so you can get 32 gigs of VRAM, so you can do all your, you know, like, what is it, 30 billion parameter whatever model, or whatever the number was. I remember testing a bunch of different LLMs last year with the Radeon AI Pro. I was like, dude, $1,100 for gets you a 32 gigabyte graphics card that can basically do all the AI stuff. And it makes it so that if you want to get a second one, like if you want to add it to scale for a cluster, it's way more affordable to go that route. Because it's like, you think about it, two Radeon AI Pros is less than the price of one 5090. Now, the 5090 is going to outperform a single Radeon AI Pro, but you're paying like almost 3 times the amount of money, and you're still only capped at 32 gigs of VRAM at the end of the day. So it's kind of weird. Like, I think AMD and Intel do offer really good value compared to NVIDIA at the end of the day when you look at it that way. Because I've tested the NVIDIA, obviously, you know, it's my reference point on NVIDIA is a 5090
All right, let's move.
for 32 gig AI
We've got a long
models.
way to go yet.
So I don't have any of the lower end cards. I do have older NVIDIA cards, but they have less VRAM. So it's like, it's hard to gauge a good comparison. It's like, okay, unless you want to use a lower parameter model to benchmark, but then it's like, the whole point of buying a graphics card that has more VRAM is so you can run the larger models. So it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird. Dude, this game is so hard to run for this GPU. Look at that. We're only like mid 40s. I'm gonna have to change settings or turn on frame gen or something. Like, this is really, whoa. The power of Forspoken. This is a game that launched in January of 2023. This game is like a month older than Hogwarts Legacy.
What happens to you when all this is over?
Incredibly challenging. Luminous engine with ray tracing.
But let's not worry about me for now. We have places to be.
Copy that.
NVIDIA GPUs hold value when you sell them. Only the ones that have a lot of VRAM. The lower end NVIDIA cards, they don't hold value. It's like 50, 60, yeah, you're gonna have to sell that for cheap. The only NVIDIA cards that hold value are like the ones that have, you know, like the 4090 has 24 gigs, the 3090 has 24 gigs. You know the crazy thing? The 3090 and the 3090 Ti, they sell for more than a 4080 on the used market. It's because of the VRAM. So literally it's the VRAM. The 4080's faster in gaming, but literally the people who buy these cards on the used market, They're gonna value the
Huh?
VRAM, the
What
high
is?
VRAM cards more.
The break. What else?
Even
Keep
Micro
your
Center.
wits
Micro
about
Center
you.
was selling a whole bunch of refurbished Founders Edition 4080s, 4080 Supers, and 3090 and 3090 Ti. And the 3090 Ti was selling from, like, Micro Center charges more money for a used 3090 Ti than a 4080 or 4080 Super. Micro Center was selling those. You could get a 3090 Ti Founders Edition from Micro Center last year for like, I think it was like $800 or $850. Keep in mind, 3090 Ti's MSRP is $2,000. So that was a pretty good deal. 4080 was like 700 or 749 or something for Micro Center, a refurbished Founders Edition. See, because the reason why I know this is because I was considering buying a refurb 3090 Ti from Micro Center, and what ended up happening, I was going to put it with my other one in a cluster, but what ended up happening was the Radeon AI Pro happened, and I went and bought the Radeon AI Pro instead, and never looked back because it's got that 32 gigs. You sold the 4090 for like this a year and a half ago. Yeah, 4090 is still good. I feel like out of the two graphics cards that I feel are gonna last really long, or have already kind of lasted really long, the two of them are the
Wind feels
4090
nice.
and
Yes, until an
the
unexpected
the
gust blows you off
Radeon
a cliff.
7900
I
XTX.
don't know.
The
That'd be kinda
7900 XTX had an MSRP of $1,000, and it's a 24 gigabyte graphics card. And it's still really good. It's slightly slower than an RTX 5080, you know? So it's like that card, and it's got more VRAM, so it's got pretty long legs for a card that wasn't super expensive, all things considered. The 4090, though, that card definitely has stood the test of time, but it's hard to say that it's like a 1080 Ti because it's so expensive compared to what a 1080 Ti was. So it's kind of hard to say that the 4090 was really good value because it was typically sold just under $2,000 most of the time, and a lot of AIB models were over $2,000.
Magic is in the answer
Back in
to
the day.
everything, huh?
If it was, Athia wouldn't be in this mess.
True that.
Yeah, I hate that 12
Something's
volt
there.
high power.
What shall we do?
What is this?
Pretend we
Oh,
didn't
someone's
know
attacking.
this?
Someone's attacking.
Look out!
I forgot how to do the moves. What's the... How does she do this move? Like, what's the move? Oh, what? I didn't even know how I did that.
Glad you're feeling on top of your game.
Bam. Okay. We're in the mid-30s because of the spell effects.
Got you on your toes now. That's not doing much.
Oh, it's like a dash move. Okay.
Didn't even give him time to blink.
Exactly what purpose? is
Okay,
that
I'm gonna have to
ridiculous
mess with the
exaggeration
settings.
supposed to-
Because this is not running well. First of all, turn off ray trace shadows, turn off ray trace ambient occlusion, because I feel like that's probably killing the frame rate.
Sir?
Yeah, we went from like 35 to 55 just by turning off the ray tracing, and the game barely looks any different without the ray tracing, because Square Enix doesn't know how to do ray tracing or whatever, so it's like a pointless setting. Okay, what else can we do here? XESS balanced. Okay. Now it's above 60. You know, surprisingly, this game doesn't run all choppy on the stream, though. I don't know if it was choppy earlier during combat. I wasn't paying attention to how it looked on there. This one's running pretty good, though, on the stream. Like, the stream is just as smooth as what I'm seeing. you had to drive 180 miles round trip to go to a micro center. Oh, dude, that's like a day trip right there. Okay, so it looks like if you play this game without ray tracing, you can get it around 60. Okay, I say that and it just decides to dip below 60. It seems like you can get it playable. I probably have to tweak like 1 or 2 other settings or something. Or I could try dropping it to performance. Basically, if we do that, now I'm playing the game at 1080p.
Oops.
Okay, so basically you can play the game at 1080p, max settings, and then upscale to 4K, and it's playable. See, I feel like upscaling makes the most sense for 4K gamers. People like me who play on a 4K monitor, we're the ones who are most likely going to leverage upscaling. And the nice thing about 4K is such a high resolution that unless you have a giant TV,
What is break?
even if you're playing the game at 1080p and upscaling all the way to 4K, it doesn't really seem that bad. These newer algorithms, like newer versions of FSR and DLSS, make it a lot more viable to take a 1080p render and upscale to 4K. But the best thing is when you can do quality mode, because you're basically playing the game at 1440p, and then you upscale to 4K. And 1440p has enough information in the pixels that the final output image at 4K looks totally fine. It's not quite as sharp as native 4K, but it's good enough. Alright, so that's Forspoken. Honestly, this game is not that bad. A lot of people said this game was terrible. The only thing about the game is the character, the protagonist, she's not a very interesting character. So, and the world is also kind of bland. Like, it's an intriguing world for the first, like, 2 hours. But then you realize that the world feels super empty. It's a big open world where there's like no NPCs, and it's like you're literally just running through the world real fast. I forgot how to play this without the controller. I'm playing it on keyboard and mouse right now. I forgot how to do everything, but yeah, like you have all these cool parkour, like free runner style moves, like it's some kind of Mirror's Edge ripoff, only without all the big buildings.
It's weirdly quiet
And,
here.
oh, there's some creepy enemy around because the music got all scary. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of there. Let's get out. Let's get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Silent Hill. Get out. Silent Hill. Run, 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 run. I don't like that music. But anyway, yeah. The game's story is very bad. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's definitely not like this is like a 6 out of 10 game. It was an ambitious game, and I almost wonder if the developers had to cut certain things out due to budget constraints or time constraints. I feel like they planned this to be a much more involved game than what it ended up being. But anyway, yeah, that's Forspoken. So let's go to another game now. So let's try... Let's try this game. This game is probably going to be even harder to run, or might be about the same. You forgot this. Why did it start on the wrong monitor? The game decided to start up over on my right monitor. Weird. Maybe I should use that chance to figure out why the text on the OLED is super blurry. Scale. Does that fix it? No, that doesn't fix it. They've got some kind of weird problem with the B70. My 4K OLED has very, very blurry text for some reason. The normal TN monitors look fine. This one, just something is wrong. It's some kind of driver bug. Immortals of Avium? I don't have Immortals of Avium. Hold on, what happened to the thing? There it is. I have to wait for it to go so I can move it to the other monitor. The streaming choppiness it's game specific to something with the way the Intel driver works. My display scaling is 100%. I changed it to 150, it didn't make a difference. I'm gonna have to unplug the DisplayPort cable and replug it back in. It's some weird thing. Which phone I'm using? The Sony Xperia. Sony Xperia 3 Mark 1, or the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 3. Alright, here we go. This is it. Oh, I gotta move this over. Change it to my LG Ultra Gear 32-inch 4K OLED for that 240 Hz goodness. There we go. That's more like it. One of the best games ever made. Final Fantasy 16. Oh, it has Intel Xe. Oh, it has Legacy mode, TSC-MAA plus FSR1. That's what the PlayStation 5 uses for this game. Did it crash? Uh-oh. Is it gonna make it? Oh, it made it. Oh, it made it. I was a little bit worried there. I was getting kind of nervous. When I switch it over to XeSS, it was like the mouse starts spinning the wheel and the game looks frozen. I'm thinking, uh-oh, that's not good. But my computer is so rock solid stable overclocked that I don't have to worry about instability. You know how it is. Okay, let's take a look. Upscale, quality. Frame rate 144. Wait, why is it 144? No, crank it up. 240 Hertz. This monitor is a 240 Hertz monitor. Motion blur, whatever. Everything is maxed out. You don't use variable rate shading is for low-end GPUs. Okay, so I think we got everything. Let's continue. Let's go. I think I might need to use the controller for this. I have no idea how to play this on keyboard and mouse. Fire it up. Xbox Series X. All right, let's see how we go. Oh yeah, check it out, man. This game, I knew it was gonna be even harder to run than Forspoken. Forspoken was like the front runner to this game in terms of how challenging it is to run. Yeah, look at that, 35 FPS. Check that out.
Thank goodness Sid made
And it does look like it is. It does look pretty choppy on stream too. All right, we are gonna have to crank it down. That's too much. Even the menu is choppy. Look at that, 21 frames per second in the menu. Dude, Square Enix knows how to push hardware to the max. Look at that. The menu. 21 FPS in the menu. Wow. Impressive game. 9070 XT would get 60 FPS at 4K with quality upscale. Well, okay. Well, that means that the Radeon AI Pro is going to beat this graphics card. Because, alright, we're going to have to go down to performance. 1080p. Let's do 1080p. There's no frame gen. Oh, you have to use either... It says right here, this setting is only available if NVIDIA DLSS 3 or AMD FSR 3 are selected for super resolution. So we don't have the way to leverage FSR frame gen. Some games allow you to use FSR frame gen on an Intel GPU.
I have modded my Samsung flagship OLED TV used as a monitor to 4,000 nits and got it calibrated with a professional guy with equipment north of 30,000 United States dollars.
Yeah, I don't know why the super chats replay when I have to do that.
Gaming on it just looks unreal now. Paired with the 5090, it could be the best
funny.
visual gaming experience in the world.
All right, check it out. If we stare at the skybox where there's nothing, we can fake it, man. 73 FPS. 73 FPS. Check it out. But the moment you turn around and try to go somewhere, oh man, you know what? I think the reason why it was choppy, I think there's a bug in the Intel driver that causes a memory leak. I think there's some kind of memory leak that happens, because that's probably why it gets choppy when there's a lot of stuff going. I don't know if it might not be a memory leak. It's some kind of weird Intel thing. It's like that happens. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's definitely not a good look. $40 something at performance mode.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of these days.
I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastport, but as soon as the rebuilding work is complete, I promise to return.
You know, I still need to finish this game on PC. I never actually finished the story on the PC version. I only finished it on PS5. And I tolerated 30 FPS the whole time on PS5. Because I just didn't like how the game looked with FSR 1 in performance mode. Because it wasn't even like a lock 60. It was like 40. It was somewhere from like 35 to like 45 FPS most of the time in the field. Strangely enough, when you get into a battle, it goes to a lock 60 on the PS5. But yeah, it was weird, man. And this is one of those games where I really don't like that Square Enix never bothered to update the game on PlayStation for PS5 Pro. Like, to this day, there's still no PS5 Pro enhancement for this game. The way Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got a huge upgrade with PSSR. Well, anyway, this is Final Fantasy 16. This is this is another 2023 game. So many good games released that year. This was not on PC until I think later in 2024, but it was PlayStation 5 exclusive in 2023. So far we've looked at a lot of 2023 games. When you say hypervisor, what are you talking about? You're talking about running a VM? And you're running the game in a VM? Still haven't turned on the PS5 Pro since PSSR 2. I turned it on, I tested a couple things. It's good.
Thank goodness Sid made
Alright, well, I'm not gonna waste more time with this. I mean, this game, actually,
Karen says she'll provide what she can for our voyage to Ash, and has even agreed to.
Because, I mean, look at this. It just randomly goes to 53 frames per second. There's like barely anything on screen, and it's 53. It's maybe me messing with the game settings is what caused the encoder problem. Hold on, let me just, let's go to, let me, wait, let's drop this to like medium. No dynamic resolution though. Upscaling. I want it to be like ultra performance. 720p. 720p. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Yeah, like a PS5, 720p upscale.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them.
We need 720p for this game, man.
How do you split the sea?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Let me go somewhere. Let's teleport to like an open environment. Arabelle Downs or whatever. Wait, where's like a field? Lost Wing. Let's go here. Wait, what's this place? Yeah, let's go to Northreach. Let's go to the Holy Empire of Sambrek. Okay.
A fortress?
This game does use direct storage. Alright, now it's running okay. 720p upscale. Hold on, let's get into a battle real quick. Let's fight these raptors. Okay, it's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, it's been so long since I played this. This game is so good. This game is so good. One of the best games of 2023. Definitely in top 5. Final Fantasy, always in top 5. I'm almost gonna level up, actually. I think. You can launch the game. It doesn't. Yeah, we'll try Crimson Desert. In fact, hold on. Let me make sure I have Crimson Desert installed. I'm pretty sure I installed it earlier. It has to update again. A new patch literally just came out. I gotta patch Crimson Desert. All right, let's try a different game. It looks like the only way to play this is you got on the Intel B70 is to use 720p upscale. It doesn't have access to FrameGen. FrameGen would have helped. But unfortunately, it looks like you have to use ultra performance. If I go back to performance, yeah, see, performance is like right around 60. It's just like so close to 60. 1080p. Yeah, it gets kind of choppy. Alright, well, let me... I don't know anything I need to say. I'll just... whatever. Yeah, PS... especially in this current market. PS5 is very good right now. What else did I want to test? Alright, Crimson Desert. Here we go. Let's just do it. Crimson Desert. We're going in. Here we go. Crimson Desert. Intel ARC Pro B70. What? Driver update recommended. The installed device driver version is older than the recommended version. Installed version 0.0. Recommended version 0.0. Alright, just start it up. Come on, bring up the game. I don't care. Just bring it up. Let's go. Come on, bring it in. Where's the game? Come on, man. Load the game. Come on. Is it coming in? What happened? I mean, this computer is so stable. It should work. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think I found it. It says Crimson Desert not responding. Okay, who cares? Bring in Crimson Desert. Just bring it in. Pearl Abyss, come on. Huh? Crimson Desert? Hello? Crimson Desert? It's loading, compiling shaders, but why is it not showing on the thing? Slow mode? I've got a slow mode on it? Oh, it's one of these. Alright, hold on. I can fix it. Is this gonna require the skills of Zorro? Oh, man. Alright, hold on. I gotta do my special secret workaround. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. Come on, Intel, do your thing. Ryzen, compile those shaders, quick. Come on. Full power. Alright. That's more like it. Prove to the world that we can play this game on an Intel GPU without any support from the game developer. Alright, here we go. I'm going in. Play. Oh, I should have checked the settings first. I don't know what it's gonna do. Yeah, look at this. Crimson Desert world premiere on an Intel GPU. You saw it here first. 4K OLED. Wait a minute, what SSD did I install this game on? That is some slow load time. Uh-oh, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Don't give up. Don't give up. Yeah! We're in. Yeah! This is why you have to have an overclock that is stable. You must not have an unstable overclock, man, to power through. But what's going on? Why is it so dark? Nah, my computer is rock solid stable, man. It's not gonna crash. Ultimate overclock stability. We only do 24/7 overclocks on this channel. Stuff that actually works. It's not gonna crash games. Come on, bring it in. Yeah, here we go. Oh, what the heck? What's with the world? Why does the world look like this? What is this? Extra rewards. Okay. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm in. Oh, look at this. Intel GPU. Whoa, it's like a debug. It's like we're in the Matrix. Whoa, dude, hold on. Now I understand why the developers don't want you to run this game if you have an Intel GPU. Dude. Hold on. I can kind of see her face. Oh, man. See, the problem is people are probably going to try to, like, fire this game up and it's going to crash on them. And they're going to be like, Intel's trash. And the reality is they probably have unstable RAM or something. They couldn't handle the initial load. Look at this. Whoa. It's like I'm at the North Pole and the South Pole at the same time. Hold on. Maybe we can fix the setting. Wait, okay, hold on. Look, the menu. The overlay for the in-game menu is okay. So, hold on. Maybe we can fix this. 4K. There's no upscaler. Oh, okay. I got an idea. Crank it to, like, low. Low. And just don't mess with upscalers first. Let's see what happens. Does it fix it? Whoa. Whoa. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think low seems to help. I think low makes it worse. Dude, this is why you can't use an Intel GPU for gaming. This is like the best example I've ever seen of like why you can't use an Intel GPU for gaming. Like legit, look at this. Like what is this? Look at that. Okay, hold on. It actually was better on high settings, on ultra settings. It's worse with the low settings. All right, crank it back up. Let's try high. And I want to try high. And can AMD fix this? Maybe AMD upscale can fix it. Uh-oh. Hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. The mouse is spinning. You can do it. No, don't quiet down. Don't quiet. The computer's going super quiet. Like the fan's all slowed down. No, 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 no. Hold on. Wait for it. Come on. I'm still live. Hold on. The mouse is spinning. The wheel's spinning. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, man. Load that FSR in. I might have to reset the INI file. I might not be able to get back into the game unless I switch to an AMD GPU. Uh-oh. Yeah. Hold on. Task Manager. Oh, yeah. Crimson Desert not responding. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, I guess that's gonna be that. Yeah, let's get out of here. Close the game. All right. That's unfortunate. So that game doesn't work. Let's try another one. Well, now you guys know why the developers don't let the game... Like, they don't let people start the game with an Intel GPU. All right, so let's try another game. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Okay. Man, I can't wait for that 9950 X3D2, the dual. I'm gonna pair that up with this GPU. Okay, I don't know what is up with the game. Literally went from this monitor to that monitor and then back to this monitor as a window. I don't have Battlefield. Alright, this, there we go. Alright, where is it? Come on. Oh, compiling shaders again. Alright, go all out. Come on, Ryzen, bring it in. What game? You mean, are you talking about Battlefield? Forspoken instead of D3D12 with Proton? Isn't D3D12 a Windows only thing? So why would that only work on Linux? Oh, Crimson Desert? I didn't have any problems with it. I was streaming Crimson Desert last weekend and it was fine. I was streaming it on a Radeon AI Pro. At 4K, it was fine. It's pretty demanding for that GPU at 4K, though. Yeah, you just have to have... I don't know. Are you playing it at... I'm assuming you're using 1440p if you're using those GPUs. You think NVIDIA has an issue with upscaling? I was streaming it with FSR 4 with the full redstone... The ray, what is it? Ray regeneration? And it was, or which one is the NVIDIA one? Ray regeneration? Ray reconstruction? I always get them backwards. What's NVIDIA's terminology and what's AMD's terminology? You're using DLSS RT. Well, there's another guy that was watching my stream, and he was playing. He was saying he was playing Crimson Desert on an RTX 5090, and he wasn't having any issues. I was going to stream Crimson Desert on the 5090 today, like right now, but the Intel GPU showed up, and I'm like, you know what? I really think the audience will enjoy the B70 instead of me just playing on a 5090 at Crimson Desert 4K. Regeneration is AMD's? Okay. Well, we're about to test a game that has become a meme sensation for Intel ARC GPUs. This is the game. The question is, did the game just crash? The game literally closed out on me. Okay, that's interesting. Let's try this again. This was the game that almost killed my B580 last year. You guys remember the dreaded house? Remember the creepy house? It was, let's just put it this way. There was this game with the Intel ARC Pro B580. There's a house in the game, and when you're using an Intel GPU, it's literally scarier than House Beneviento in Resident Evil Village. Like, legit. It is really scary. So we're going to test that again. Can it get past this? This is the ultimate test. The Room of Doom? I don't know what happened, man. Why did it crash? Like the game didn't even crash. It just like closed. It like exited. It's like the game literally Alt F4'd, like right as it finished compiling shaders. The Room of Doom. I gotta remember that. That's a really good name to describe that situation. This is one of the best games of 2024. This game is now 2 years old. It came out in March of 2020. Was it March 2024 or April 2024? I think it was March. Yeah, Panther Lake's pretty good on mobile. But see, that's where Intel's always been strong. Intel's strong in mobile. And that's their strongest segment right now. Mobile. They're very good in mobile. AMD's kind of just coasting right now in mobile. They're gonna wait. Like AMD's new stuff is coming next year. It's all just rebrands of stuff that they released last year. Here it is, RE Engine, one of my favorite engines. Oh snap! Dragon's Dogma 2. I don't know why it says Dragon's Dogma. It's supposed to be the sequel. Alright, let's make sure that we have this set up correctly. 4K, 240 hertz. Frame rate should not be... Okay, whatever. FSR 3 quality, okay. Upscale sharpness. Oh, this is that secret setting. That's the secret setting from, like, Monster Hunter. Image quality, change the resolution scaling factor. Okay, in the middle, you want this to be in the middle. Do not mess this up. If it stays in the middle, it's 1x the resolution. This is a multiplier, by the way. Ray tracing on. Yes, we're gonna run that RT. Crank everything up. Let's go. Everything maxed out. Yeah, high. Okay. Okay, everything's good. Okay, wait, what's that nostril thing about? The nostril? What does that do? You can have a subsurface scattering on a nose? It actually looks more clear with it turned off, but whatever. Okay. Here we go. Dragon's Dogma 2. Hey, tech guy, have you done... Someone mentioned minis for him. Have you tested or do you plan on testing the minis for him? The Strix Halo one that has Thunderbolt 5? The only Strix Halo that I've tested is the GMK Tech, the Evo X2. That Minis Forum, Frameworks is really good, but Minis Forum, in my opinion, Minis Forum has the best mini PC because it has USB 4 version 2. So it literally has Thunderbolt 5 on a Strix Halo mini PC, which is incredible. You can plug in like dual external graphics cards to that setup. Okay. 30 something FPS. Hey, that's better than what we witnessed last time. All right. What do we do, guys? Should we run through the... Should we go straight into the House Beneviento? Or should we like go check the city first? Let's check the city.
To be gathered here, I'll wager.
We're right around 40 FPS. Oh, someone's dead. I don't know. Should I revive him? I have to use an item to revive him. I don't know. There's a lot of people just watching. This is 1440p upscaled to 4K. We're using FSR 3 quality. So it's 1440 upscale.
A thorough perusal might reveal aught of interest.
So one thing I've noticed is we are totally not CPU bottlenecked at all, because when I loaded into the open world, we were at 39 FPS, and I go into the city for the CPU bound, and we're still around like 37, 30 FPS. So we're definitely not CPU limited. And usually, this game is notorious for being CPU bound. So it does look like this is really... Oh man, you guys are seeing a choppy image though. Oh wait, never mind. It got choppy when I left the town. Hold on, let me see if it... Is it gonna fix it?
The other day, I chanced to see a most resplendent ox.
I don't know, this game... This is the game that I feel Crimson Desert reminds me the most of.
But guess who I saw riding in it? Poor little Daphne. I doubted my eyes, I did.
Is this a quest?
And rightly so, as it turned out to be a young boy. The resemblance was so uncanny, I mistook him for her. Gave me a right shock, let me tell you. Odd to think a young noble should so closely mirror a girl of the slums.
Yeah, we'll change it to performance soon.
Their faces may match, but the lives they lead are as different as night and day. Aye, 'tis a cruel world we inhabit.
Was that supposed to be like a quest or something? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. All right, so yeah, it's around 30 something. Let's drop it. Let's drop the resolution. Let's drop it to performance. I like how it shows that big 31 gigs, 32 gig VRAM. Okay.
I've just recalled a little.
Didn't really improve the
locals.
frame rate at all.
If you refer to changes in the military's makeup, I've heard the same.
Indeed. Tell us, there's been a shift in...
I know precisely when a curative is needed, Master. You'll never fall in battle so long as I'm around.
No, I don't need to hire a mercenary right now. I don't think you have to restart the game for resolution scale. You never have to do that in any other game. What do we do, guys? Should we go into House Beneviento? It's right there. It's literally right in front of me. Should I go in? I'm kind of scared. I don't know if I want to go in there yet. The game right now is doing about 45 frames per second. Go in. All right, here we go. Here we go. Can the B70 survive where all other Intel GPUs have failed? Oh man. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Oh. Hey, it's not that bad. The VRAM jumped up to like 11 gigs in use, but hey, it's working. It's actually working. This GPU can brute force its way through the house. The House of Doom. Yeah, it's actually not. Wow, okay. This is a first. This is a huge improvement. If you guys remember what happened when we did this with the B580 last year, literally the game went to like 3 frames per second. And I had to get out of the house fast for fear that was going to cause the game to crash. But hey, it actually runs better indoors than outdoors, which is how it's supposed to be. That's actually not that bad.
Of all these former arisen. It seems they haven't lost the powers you need
I think it was that house. It was a house that was somewhere in the field. Like I can't go inside this one.
How are we to get through this door?
I'm pretty sure that was the house. It was. I remember it being a house where I could see like this broken bridge thing. Okay, we can go try a different one though. It looked like that house. There was another house. I think we tested the A770 back when this game was new. And it was a house inside the town, and there was like a fireplace or something where it really struggled. We can go inside the homes inside the city and see.
Must you run so fast? I can hardly keep
Does this start a quest line?
Looks like we both got some time on our hands.
Okay, never mind. So she had something to say about the twins. No, it wasn't this one. I think it was that house. It was a sack of grain that wasn't rendering it. Yeah, I remember. That was like a kitchen, though. It was like a kitchen somewhere. Because I remember when I tested it on an AMD card, it had things that were there, and then on the Intel card, there were things that were invisible. And it was causing some kind of GPU overload. Let's go inside the townhomes.
Enough to break any man's spirit, this.
Yeah, this is definitely a game that this GPU needs frame gen. I mean, Capcom open world games basically require you to use frame gen. So the sad thing is Intel, I think AMD also doesn't have access to frame gen in this game, which is very unfortunate because I think this is the sort of game that you must use frame gen. It's like a required thing. Okay, it was one of these type of homes. You go inside the kitchen. And I remember there was like something. Yeah, it was like something in here that wasn't visible and it caused some kind of problem. But it looks like, as far as I can tell, it's running fine and everything's visible. So yeah, there have been improvements. Intel has made a lot of improvements to the driver compared to how it was like what, two years ago. So yeah, it's better. It definitely seems better.
Someone talked about this. So what'll it be? Not to twist your arm, but this is a rare opportunity to own a bit of property in Vermont.
Oh, I can buy he's selling his house, 200,000 G.
Well, you needn't decide this very moment.
Okay, that's some kind of quest.
The predicament.
Yeah, I think this was the house with the sack of grain that caused it to tank the performance like crazy.
It is quiet about it.
Well, oh, wait, you know what? I remember this. Oh, it was this room, wasn't it? Yeah, it was this room because there was a fire. There was a fire, and it was like a kitchen area. It was this place. Something wasn't rendering correctly. I think it was these sacks of grain right here, right? It was this stuff.
Sometimes this is the only place I can find peace.
Yeah, this looks very familiar. It was this place.
Oh, I can't complain.
Okay. Well, I mean, the game is technically playable. It doesn't run well on this GPU, but that's because this game is just a Capcom RE Engine game that's an open world game. And these type of games basically need frame gen to fix everything. With frame gen, it would be above 60. So I would say this is fine. This is as good as it's going to get. I mean, the only thing I can possibly do is go 720p. Let's go ultra performance and see if that does anything. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, it's almost 60 at 720p. The fact that you have to go to 720p though is just so 720p on a $949 graphics card. But hey, it's got 32 gigs of VRAM. But having to render at 720p though, you know what I'm saying? And then even with that, the stream is still kind of like choppy looking compared to the actual gameplay footage that I get to see. The game looks more choppy than Forspoken with same frame rate on screen. Really? Alright, well, let's try another game. Dragon's Dogma is one of those where you always have to test. It's like the ultimate test for computer hardware. Because I really feel like we're gonna need like Zen 6 or Zen 7 or something to basically, plus like newer graphics cards, to just brute force through this horribly optimized mess of a game. Because RE Engine just has scaling. It has fundamental scaling problems that the only way you can fix it is by brute forcing it with hardware. You need like DDR6 and Zen 7 or something, and then that completely will probably remove the CPU bottleneck. And then on top of that, you're gonna have to have like an overkill GPU if you want to play it at 4K. No, it's $950. It's $950 to like $1,000 something dollars. This GPU. Okay, well that's Dragon's Dogma. We don't need to save. Return without saving. I don't need to save any of that stuff. Alright, let's oh, did I thought I exited. Okay, let's try. Well, how long have I been live? I've been live for, I don't even know how long I've been live because I had to restart the stream because of that encoder crash. I've been live for like 2.5 hours, so that's pretty good. Let's do Let's try Elden Ring Nightreign. I'm not going to actually play a match. I'm just going to check the game and see how it runs. Because Elden Ring Nightreign was another game that I tested with the B580 last year. And B580 could run it okay. Except I had to run the game at like 1080p low settings or something. You bought HX 370 NAS from Minis Forum? Oh, actually, I was trying to see. You're the mini guy now, plus the GPU. Yeah. Hold on. Why is this not an option? Where is the game? There it is. I haven't played this in a while, man. The last time I played Nightreign was December 29th. Because remember, I said I wasn't going to play it this year. This game was replaced by Neo 3. That's another game I need to test. I just realized that. Okay, 4K. This game has no upscalers, so you literally are forced to run native because that's how From Software rolls. High settings, advanced. We'll just do high for now and see because the B580 could only handle it at low at 1080p, so I have a feeling this isn't going to work. Does anybody have or thinking about or is thinking about getting the framework, either the framework desktop or the framework 16? Hey, it actually seems to be running pretty good. This is certainly better. Okay, yeah, this is not stuttery on the stream. Now, From Software caps it to 60, so we're not going to go above 60, but dude, this is way better than the 580. B580 ran this like trash. This GPU is actually running this game at 4K. This is native 4K in Nightreign.
Do you need help with something? I'm better with technical weaponry. Heavier armaments are not my forte.
This is one of the best games from 2025. This is definitely in top 5 games of last year.
When do we fight?
I enjoyed this game so much. I literally platinumed this game twice. I platinumed the game on Steam, and I platinumed the game on PS5. That's how much I enjoyed this game. And that is very, very rare. I have to really, really like a game to do that. To play the game all the way through twice for the Platinum Trophy. So this game is so good. Some of my best highlights from the gaming streams last year were featuring this game. This game had so many Pog moments, man. Like, this game is so good. Dusk Bloods on Switch 2, I'm really curious how that's gonna go. Making that a Switch 2 exclusive.
I will see that our deed is done.
I even did the DLC chapters twice over last year.
I can tell how this battle will
I cleared every single Everdark on both platforms.
I can wait. What if my sword?
I mean, the only thing I didn't do was the depth stuff. See, like, I got all these guys cleared. The Deep of Night. I didn't really care to do Deep of Night. This is like the end game stuff. You can go all the way to depth level 5. That's the one thing I didn't really care to do. If I was going to continue playing this game, that's what I'd be doing. Only 70 cents. Yeah, that's because it's kept at 60. Yeah, this is good. This is a very good result. Yeah, this is good. I like these results. I completely forgot. Oh, where do I go to switch characters? Oh, it's not here. It's like somewhere else. It's here. Yeah, this game is so good.
A great heap of castaway things.
I wonder what From Software's next game is going to be. I really want them to try to do a sci-fi game.
In this land,
A game in a sci-fi setting.
with rubble and
That's
death.
the one thing that they haven't
But
done
my
yet.
opinion counts for little in
They've
this
done
matter.
samurai
corpse is a
games,
wild
ninja
eye.
games,
A truth undeniable.
medieval games,
We are duty
dark
bound to
fantasy
act.
games.
There is no
They
other
have
choice.
done they do Armored Core. Armored Core is their like mech based thing, but I would rather them do some kind of sci-fi game that's not a mech based combat game.
How might I assist you?
Alright, well this runs good. This runs really good. I'm actually very happy that Nightreign runs this good on the B70. Because it did not run well on the B580. So basically you have to have more powerful hardware. Okay. They have a lot of dead IPs to visit. Yeah, I know. Like Tenchu. Like I kind of want them to bring back the Tenchu franchise. Alright, we're gonna try another game here. Oh, I forgot to fire... I don't have Neo 3 installed. I have to download Neo 3 on this computer. That's okay. I guess we won't showcase Neo 3. We'll showcase this game instead. This is it. The scariest game of the year. Scarier than... Oh, Resident Evil. I completely forgot about Resident Evil. I don't have Neo 3 or Requiem installed on this computer. This game's scarier than Requiem. The question is, how is it going to roll? 35 FPS. Katana engine. Whoa, it looks really dark on the OLED. This is really scary to play on the OLED. The dreaded sound effects. Hold on, where's the... Let me move this over here. Yeah, this is the Silent Hill F collab. There's a Silent Hill F collab going on right now. So you can basically make her wear the Fox mask from Silent Hill F, and then there's also the Navy Sailor School uniform from Silent Hill F. The game looks almost too dark on this OLED. I kind of want to raise the brightness just because it's so dark. Yeah, Silent Hill F compared to this, Silent Hill F is not scary. This is scarier than Silent Hill F. Dude, I gotta get that frame rate up. I can't face those Banshees or Ghosts or whatever with 36 FPS. This isn't gonna go down well. What do we got? FSR2. All you get is FSR2. No XESS. Max FPS is going to be 60. We got to drop this to standard. Textures, I guess. Wait, hold on. Is there an FSR upscale? How do I fix the upscale? Is it not using the upscale? How do I fix... I think all I gotta do is change the upscale. Is it not allowed to use this? Silent Hill F was not a scary. Silent Hill 2 remake is an actual scary game. Wait, this isn't. This is not Silent Hill F. No, this is definitely not Silent Hill F. This is Silent Hill F is not scary. This game is scary. Okay, apparently I don't have access to FSR, so I'm going to have to start changing things. I have to lower settings to get it to... I don't know if this actually matters. Film grain, depth of field, lens flare. Did it save it? I gained like 5 frames per second by doing that. Man, without upscaling, this is a problem. I can't even adjust the resolution when running it on borderless. It doesn't even have the option for full screen exclusive. Oh man, this is a sign of developers that only understand how to make games for a console and they do not know how to do a proper PC port. Like, this is terrible. Like, what is this? I can't use FSR because I'm not using an AMD GPU. There's no XeSS support. This is what it's like to be on an Intel GPU, man. Gaming on an Intel GPU this is definitely the struggle bus. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, can I, there's no preset. I just want to like make it low settings. Why can't I adjust this? Like, what the heck? Hold on, go back to the main menu. Is it because I'm not in the main menu? This game, for those that don't know what this is Fatal Frame 2 Remake. This game literally came out in March, so literally, it's like less than a month old. It's almost a month old. It launched around the same time Crimson Desert came out. I think it was like the week before Crimson Desert. Okay, now I can fix this. All right, we're gonna have to do like 25% or like 30% resolution scale, or 35. It's kind of dumb that you have to be out here to do this. All right, best performance, just best performance. Low, everything low. Turn all this stuff off. 35% resolution. Should I do 35 or 50? Let's do 50 since I'm making everything low. Okay. Hold on, why is it like... Yeah, you only get FSR2, that's all you get. What if I do 5 on sharpness? And then... I need the brightness to be higher. It's just too... like, I can't even see where I'm going. That's better. Alright, here we go. This is the Katana engine. Katana engine. Why is the frame rate worse? I lowered the settings and it's worse? We were at like 35 FPS. Why are we now... What? What messed it up? Basically, if your game could run... You know what? I'm just gonna do this. I don't care. Just make it 1440. Or actually, no. Do like 25% or whatever. Maybe the sharpness filter messed it up. Literally everything's low. Why is that worse? I increased resolution scale? No, I didn't. I lowered it. Okay, something is messed up. Why is the resolution scale wrong? There's no way this is all it can do. Like it... I'll try that out if this doesn't work. Oh, it's screen settings. I mean, it was like 65% when I started it. I've made it go all the way down. Okay, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's go back to 65 and make this 1440p. Or let's I got a better idea. Just do 1080p 100%. 100% of 1080p. I just want to see what does this game look like at 1080 or how does it run at 1080p? It certainly looks like 1080p now. It's blurrier. Okay, 60 frames per second, 1080p native. There's a ghost or something around. Why is it going in that direction though? I don't know. I don't want to go back to the Kiryu house. I really don't want to go over there. Oh, there was a ghost. There was something there because that's why it was blue. Hold on, there's something around. Did it go away? Oh, I messed it up. I'm gonna have to reload the save. How do I, like, load? Hold on. I messed it up. Load previous save? Oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to do that. Just whatever. I'm going to set it to 1440p. $1440p 100%. Okay, it looks like it's able to do 1440p. But remember, this is ultra low settings. Oh, there's something around. You see? What is that? There's something around. Oh man, there's markings all over this door. The door is stuck. There's something over here though, because it's like reacting. Uh-oh. I don't know. I don't think I should go there. I could definitely increase the settings. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It was flickering. It was flickering. It's flickering. Something's around. Something's around. Something's around. Hold on. Paranormal activity. Paranormal activity detected. The flashlight. I don't know. Why is it doing that? I don't like that. I can't tell if it's the game doing that or if it's the Intel ARC GPU just doing its things. That makes this even more exciting. Oh, the light's going out. You see that? There must be something around. There's something around. Something's going on. something is definitely going on. Oh, man. How do I use the zoom lens again? Okay, this was a zoom? Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Should I go in this building? Can I crank up the settings? Alright, let's try, high standard, I guess. This, textures, high quality, screen space, just turn everything back on. Let's see what happens. Volumetric ruins the FPS. Leave that on low. Yeah, that's whatever. Depth of field, lens flare, I guess. Alright, how does it... It seems like it still runs okay. I don't know. I don't like how that flashlight starts flickering. Alright, let's go in here. I'm going in. I don't care anymore. I'm going in. I don't care. I know because I've played the original on Xbox Original and PS2, I already know what's going to happen, but I don't like what's going to happen. This is like replaying Resident Evil 2 Remake after already playing the original back in the day. I don't like what's gonna happen soon. I don't really want to do this. I don't know. I don't know if I want to pick that up. Oh man. Because I know that she's around. She can't open that door. The door is stuck. And I know it's the film reel is in there. And the big screen is in there. And if you know anything about scary Japanese horror films, TVs and black and white, like black and white TVs and stuff is not something you want to stare at in this sort of game. Oh no. Why does it react like that? Hold on, how... I got 48 shots of Type 90 though, so we're good. I think this game has a bug when it comes to the Type 61. Mayu's Charm. The twin houses, connected by heaven and earth. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't like this. But you know what, though? The Intel GPU is running this game pretty good. Oh, man. Oh, no. This is it. Come on. Show your face.
Mayu on the heavenly bridge.
Uh-oh.
Mayu.
Oh no. Those of you who watched my first play session of this game, if you remember the cutscene when she saw her sister walking across the bridge, you remember what was following her. That's the thing that I'm kind of uneasy about looking for right now. Man, the flashlight is just... What was the button to turn it off? Because there's a way to turn it off, I forgot. This? No, this? Okay. I can play with no flashlight. But the only thing is if you turn the flashlight off, then you don't know if there's a spirit nearby. Because you get no visual indicator. There she is! Oh, this is it! Broken neck woman. Oh man. Okay, I gotta go to Type 14. I'm not gonna waste my time with her. Oh no, that thing messes up her, it messes up her willpower. I gotta break her. Okay, I wanna break her out of that mode. The heck? Oh, I somehow misclicked. Nope. I don't think I have to fight her on the bridge. The frame rate does drop, man. 41 FPS, I can feel it. Oh, I missed. Oh no, oh no. I need one more big critical. Oh no, she's transforming into a Super Saiyan. Oh, this is what I didn't want to see happen. She's healing, she's regenerating. Oh no, she's regenerating. Come on. Oh yeah, here we go. Headshot. Bam, get owned. Okay. Can I go after the sister now? Man, I used up like 13 shots. What was that? Who was there? Oh! Man approaching study. Dude, the frame rate drops during combat is really bad. Something's here. I forgot how to swap the lens types. No, not this. That's flashlight. Special shot? Wait, what was it? Oh, switch filter. Oh, this is it. Paranormal activity. Paranormal activity. Folklorist note. The Kiryu house appears to serve as a place where the twin maidens reside for an extended period while they undergo ritual purification. During this cleansing process, the twins are not allowed to leave the manor grounds, with one exception. They may also visit the second of the twin houses, the Tachibana house, via the heavenly and earthly bridges. We were just on one of those bridges. When walking from the Tachibana house to the Kiryu house, the heavenly bridge on the second floor is used, whereas the opposite route is taken utilizing the earthly bridge, which sits underground. Speaking of which, the earthly bridge also connects to the deep path, the sprawling cavern system that lies beneath the village. What's more, something none are allowed to gaze upon reportedly lies within the innermost sanctum of the deep path. Only a selection of senior priests are permitted entry into the area, as well as a special group of individuals known as mourners. You guys remember, we encountered the mourners on the last stream. They're those blind guys that are underground in the caves. If this place is where the gate to hell lies, then I suppose the hidden ceremony is likely conducted underground. A film reel for the Kiryu House key. My Type 90 is full? What? I can't. What I don't understand, why am I able to hold more Type 90 than Type 61? Type 90 is literally the second most powerful film in the game. It's my favorite film because it reloads fast. Prayer beads. Folklorist note, the first note. It must not like the FSR scaling. In Minakami Village, stone Buddhist images resembling common roadside guardians can be found scattered throughout. However, unlike in other regions, where such slabs typically depict male and female kami, or gods, the figures carved into these images appear to be Shinto shrine maidens, twins to be precise. According to the children of the village, such girls are called twin maidens and are... What? Why does it just... Oh. And are worshipped as gods here. With that in mind, while searching through what historical documents still remain in this manner, I came across text that references these maidens as crimson sacrifices. I suppose the hidden ceremony relates to these sacrifices in some way. That is one creepy picture. I don't know, guys. Where should I go? What do you guys think? You forgot how to use the film camera? Well, okay, it's good to know there's extra film there. Well, let me see. Can I get into that room downstairs? I wish this door could be closed. Can I close this door? It's not like Resident Evil. I can't close the door. I don't like... Oh, what? Youth venturing onward? Oh. Youth operating projector. The Minakami Bridge. Something automatically activated. Uh-oh, it's starting to play something. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. There's always a chance. The film reel, deep path. Okay. There's another door right there. Let's play film reel 1. Here we go, deep path. This is it. Oh, man. This is so Ju-on Ringu inspired. The German... You're talking about the, yeah, I remember those cameras that you're talking about. Okay, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Film reel 3. Here we go. Check it out. Shadow Ritual. Wait, I think I know where that room is. I think I've been there already. Yeah, look. Oh, man. That guy got cut up bad, and they tied him up. They're doing the ritual. Because, see, the thing is, what I don't understand What I don't understand about that is... Okay, I don't know about this one. This one's going into some weird dark forest thing. Oh no, it's going to the graveyard. Be ready, be ready, be ready. Be ready, it's going to the graveyard. Yeah, see, there's some guy right there. What was up with the face? Okay. Can't open that door. Okay. There's the bridge. Okay, we should be back. I don't know what happened there. It messed up. I didn't realize it crashed that far back. Like the encoder. Oh, but see, now... Why does the game's frame rate drop when I restarted the encoder? I don't know. See, this is what I mean by the inconsistent behavior. There's just so much inconsistent behavior. Alright, well, what I was saying, you guys didn't hear me. So do we end this game, or like you want... So I guess the question is, do I continue playing Fatal Frame, or do we switch to another game? I don't have Resident Evil or Neo 3 installed, though. Oh, there is one other game I can test. Okay, so the choices are either stay with this, or switch to another game. This is a game that I have yet to complete. And this is a game that's new. I don't know why the frame rate went... Hold on, when I go back in, does the frame rate go back up? See, this is what's so weird about this. Although... So, even though the frame rate suffers for me, for you guys, it seems like it's now pretty much the same. Another game? Okay. Hold on, did I save? Yeah, okay. Well, actually, let me do one thing. Let me go to the next save point. With frame rate drops. There's talk of going... Okay, hold on. Let me go talk to that one guy. Just so I know. I'm pretty sure that place I was about to open the door is the correct place to go. But I want to go talk to the guy and see if he'll tell me something else. What the? Huh? Why did it become like this? Anyway, let me talk to him.
Yai, did you find her? Across the suspension bridge. The cemetery. Perhaps the key to the Kiryu house entrance is stored in the Kiryu family cemetery.
Across the suspension bridge?
Find the key quickly and bring Sai back. Yai, both of you need to leave this village. We can't let them keep performing that ritual.
Okay. Is there a save point? Oh, there's a save point right here. I'll save right here. Okay. Alright, that's the end of this one. Yeah, but they never had to deal with a lot of 3D rendering, though, in real time like this. Okay. Now I'm going to try one other game. Well, actually, hold on. I'm going to try a UE. Let's try a UE5 game next. I'm going to try Unreal Engine 5. Let's try Unreal Engine 5. This next game is going to be another game from 2023. This is one of the hardest games to run in 2023. It was one of the earlier Unreal Engine 5 games, and this game is unique in that it featured multiplayer, and it was not like an Epic developed game. It was developed by a third-party small studio. And that game is... Wait, what? There is a known issue with RivaTuner and this... please shut down RivaTuner before starting. The game may crash. Would you like to see them? Oh, boy. What? Uh-oh. Hold on. It's saying that I need to turn off the RivaTuner thing. I gotta turn my overlay off? Okay. Let's turn it off. Is it not able to capture the game because of that, though? Yeah, but it's not able to show the game now because of that. Hold on. Let's do it this way. There we go.
Overthrown by humanity.
Alright, this is it.
Though fear of his terrible power endured.
Hexworks. Lords of the Fallen. Lords of the Fallen 2 is supposed to come out this year. So it's one of my more anticipated games of the second half of this year. Black Myth Wukong, that's not 2023. That's 2024. And I don't know if I have that installed on here. This game received a lot of updates post-launch. Yeah, they changed everything, man. This menu looks completely different. Alright, they recommend AMD FSR 4. Apparently it's turning on AMD FSR 4. Interesting. Okay. That's supposed to be an RDNA 4 exclusive thing. But okay, we're going to try to run that on an Intel Pro GPU. It says balance is recommended, sharpness 0.5, XESS no, XESS quality balance, but it's not on. So I don't know, we can try to run at FSR 4. I highly doubt this is going to work, but apparently this is what the game auto detects. It auto-detects my graphics card. It says, my graphics card is capable of running it on ultra settings. Wow, Arknights Endfield says that it needs to run ultra low. This is saying to run Unreal Engine 5 at ultra setting with FSR 4. Let's see what happens. Alright, it's running. I have no idea how this is running the way it is, but I'm getting about 50 frames per second in here. You guys are seeing a slideshow, though. But I'm getting 48 to 50 FPS. Something is horribly wrong with the way it's doing the encode. Yeah, this is not good. The GPU is not overheating. Hold on, I can't. Hold on, it keeps on disconnecting, reconnecting. I gotta figure out what's going on. So what I can do is I can do this. We can do that for the overlay, I guess. Oh boy. Yeah, it's that sort of thing. When the Intel GPU goes to 100% utilization, the game itself doesn't lag, but I keep getting OBS disconnect messages, so that's not good. That is totally not good. We're gonna have to lower all the settings. first of all, turn off FSR. That's not helping. We're gonna have to use XESS, Ultra Performance Mode, and then forget about this Ultra nonsense. Turn that down to like low. No, not cinematic, low. Okay, there's a cinematic. All right, here we go. Confirm the settings. Wow. That basically, now I'm getting like 80 something frames at 720p upscale. And the game, it's still choppy for some weird reason, which I don't understand why. Oh, because the GPU. Yeah, if Intel's GPU goes to 99% or 100%, the stream will be choppy. So I know how to fix it. I'll tell you guys how to fix it. You gotta cap your FPS to 60 on an Intel GPU. You can't go above 60. See? Told you. You cannot let the GPU stay at 99% utilization if going to use it for streaming. This is the problem with Intel GPUs, and this is why they're not really viable. Alright, yeah, but this is good. 60 FPS, man. A locked 60. Oh. The good stuff. 720p. 720p gaming on the low settings. Yeah, I can't wait to play Lords of the Fallen 2. That's one of my most anticipated games. Remember how I said a few weeks ago that all the games that I want to play are in first quarter of this year, and we're now in second quarter? There's only a handful of games that I want to play that remain. Lords of the Fallen 2, Pragmata, and Trails in the Sky second chapter. Oh, and I guess Duskblood's on the Switch too. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what happens when you use an Intel GPU. You basically have to impose a 60 FPS cap if you want to stream the games. Or record the games. Like if you want to record, you don't even have to stream. If you just want to record gameplay footage using the Intel GPU, you have to cap to 60, and then everything just works. That's the secret sauce. But the other thing to keep in mind, what? Something died. You don't want to use the GPU to render the encoding. Like you cannot use it for encoding if you're also using it to game. So like for example, see, like this is the thing. Where's my task manager? So check this out. I'm using my Radeon integrated graphics to render the stream and also encode the stream locally. Because if I use the Intel ARC to do both functions, the game becomes a slideshow for the viewers all the time. So you have to leverage AMD. You cannot use Intel by itself, and you also can't do Intel plus Intel. Like if I had an Intel CPU, OBS wouldn't even allow me to use the Intel Core Ultra to encode the live stream. It's a limitation of OBS. So this is why I tell people, like, if you want to use an Intel GPU for encoding gameplay footage in real time, you must use a Ryzen CPU. That is like a hard requirement. It is one of the dumbest things, and it sounds so bad, and it's weird because if Intel corporate was watching this, they'd be face-palming right now that their product requires their competitor's CPU to function in a gaming live stream use case. So it's dumb because I can't even use the B50 because OBS will not let me use the B50. And if I had an Intel CPU, OBS would not allow me to use the Intel integrated graphics. So you have to go mixed vendor. Like if OBS forces mixed vendor. This is something that the OBS developers can potentially fix. They have to program OBS to allow the user to see additional Intel options for encoding, because it's like if it detects Intel, it's gonna like multiplex all of them, and it's only gonna give you your discrete GPU, your primary GPU, as the option. So OBS will not let me touch the B50. It would not let me touch an Intel integrated graphics, so that's why I'm forced to use the Radeon instead. If I had a Radeon GPU in here, I could use that. It would work fine. Same problem with AMD though. Like if I had a Radeon graphics card with a Ryzen CPU, I cannot use the integrated Radeon graphics in OBS. So the stupid reality is, if you use an Intel ARC GPU, you must use a Ryzen CPU. And if you use a Radeon graphics card and you want to use CPU encoding, you must use an Intel Core CPU. So it's like Intel Core plus Radeon is one option, and the other option is like Ryzen plus Intel ARC. If you want to do what I'm doing, like that's the ridiculous reality of it. Or you just put NVIDIA in there, and then just like NVIDIA could work with either one, because NVIDIA's doesn't have a CPU, right? So NVIDIA's basically like, oh, you just throw another GPU in there, and it sees it's like, okay, you can pick the NVIDIA one. So it's ridiculous. It's kind of dumb how OBS functions that way, and I really wish the developers would fix that, because this is something that is not a problem on XSplit. XSplit, like if I was to use XSplit instead of OBS, XSplit will let me use the Pro B50. And if I had an Intel CPU, XSplit would let me use the integrated Intel graphics. So in that regard, XSplit is far superior to OBS if you want to go with a single vendor. Like if you want to do Intel CPU plus Intel GPU, or multiple Intel GPUs, which is basically what I'm doing here, XSplit will let me select the B50 for encoding while the B70 handles the game. But OBS can't do that. And the other thing cool that XSplit can do is it can multi-stream. Like I could stream to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously without any plugins. OBS requires all kinds of like weird third-party plugins. Most of them don't actually work that reliably. So it's, yeah, I tried XSplit before though, but XSplit is more annoying to get working compared to OBS when it comes to like starting the stream. Because the reason why I don't use XSplit, because XSplit is actually better than OBS in certain ways, but the reason why I don't use it is because if something happens, like what happened earlier where the encoder messed up and it disconnected and I had to restart OBS, XSplit, for whatever reason, if that happens, it cannot reconnect to YouTube. Like I would literally have to go to YouTube and make a brand new stream, and then everyone watching the old stream would have to like leave the old stream instead of waiting for me to reconnect, and they'd have to go join the new stream. So that's the reason why I don't use XSplit. So it's kind of it's very annoying that there's no single, as far as I know, there's no live streaming platform like tool like OBS or XSplit that can do all the things without some kind of negative, you know, there's negatives on both sides. Like XSplit does not handle reconnecting to streams well at all, and that's why I don't use it. And OBS is trash when you want to use multiple graphics cards from the same vendor. Like if I wanted to do like 2 Intel GPUs or 2 Radeon GPUs, it just doesn't work. So that's why you gotta go mixed vendor. You're forced to go with like Intel plus AMD, or Intel plus NVIDIA, or AMD plus NVIDIA, or all of the above. You can't do Intel or AMD. It's super annoying. Anyway, this is Lords of the Fallen, and it works okay. I mean, I am playing it at 720p though. So let me see if I can get it to still hold 60 at a higher resolution. Performance. Okay. This is 1080p. Okay. it's still doing good. Now, the reason why Elden Ring was running so well was because Elden Ring was capped at 60 FPS. Yeah, these are the sort of things that you're not gonna find anywhere else. Like, no other YouTuber is gonna reveal these sort of, like, aspects of how things work behind the scenes. So, alright, anyway, let's probably try another game, I guess. That works okay, actually. It's X application. Uh, 9070 is gonna be faster. And work way more consistently. Okay, let's do... I'm gonna do one final game. This will be the last one. Probably the highlight of the stream was Crimson Desert. That was the best one of the night, for sure. I'm going to put timestamps in the video after we're done with the stream so that people want to go and check different games. I'll put all the games in timestamps so people can skip to whatever game they want to look at. All right, well, this is having to decompress a ton of data. That NVMe drive is maxed out, man. That's a maxed out NVMe. Look at that NVMe. Crucial 4 terabyte P3 Plus Gen 4 SSD from Micron. This is what I mean by you need like super high-end hardware for this game. Because look at all that. Look at all that decompression that was going on right there. Ryzen, Radeon integrated, handling the stream. Intel Pro B70 starting to do some stuff. Alright, here comes more texture. Here comes more direct storage. Oh, CPU ramping up. Here we go. Here comes the shader compile. Wait, why is the game not showing up? There it is. Oh, I had the wrong thing selected, that's why. Alright, yeah, this is why I use Ryzen 9 and not Ryzen 7. I need the fast compiling. Compile those shaders fast. 16 core, 32 thread. 96 gigs of system RAM. 6400 mega transfer. We need all that memory bandwidth. Give me all that memory bandwidth. I expect this GPU will run the game really good because it has 32 gigs of VRAM. And this game needs a ton of VRAM. Although, having said that, they did optimize this game pretty well in the last 2 months, or last 3 months. To the point where it actually uses a lot less VRAM now. RE engine, reach for the moon. Some software settings have been reset due to changes in hardware. All right, what did it do? It did some things. Let's see what it did. 4K resolution, always capped at 60 FPS. It says ultra settings. Oh, you can see the specs of the computer. Ryzen 9 9950X, 96 gigs of RAM, Intel ARC Pro B70, 32 gigs of VRAM, GPU driver, direct storage enabled. It no longer says CPU, and that's why the game runs really good now. So it's using this. Let's swap over to Intel. Actually, I'm gonna leave it like this for right now because I want to crank up the sharpness to make it look super duper good. Because this is the secret sauce that makes the game look better than World. And then high on ray tracing. Just crank everything. Yeah, let's go all out. Turn on that frame gen, good stuff. That frame gen. You gotta have your frame gen in this game. That's required. And we're gonna do... We are not gonna do this. We're gonna do performance mode. 1080p. 1080p. Here we go. Actually, go in here. Buffering on and off? That's because... Okay, I gotta fix the FPS then. It's because it's the FPS. The frame gen's making it go up. The FPS is going... I mean, the percentage on the GPU is going up too high. Yeah, it's using up so much. Whoa, man! Look at the power. The computer is going all out. Look at all the. Look at the disk. The NVMe, Ryzen or the Radeon thing. The Intel GPU is spiking too high, and that's what's causing it to mess up. Okay. Hold on. Let's. I can try to fix this. So, hold up. Oh wait, I got an idea. Turn off frame gen. That might fix it. And do ultra performance. Does that fix it? It's still choppy. It's still choppy because the GPU is hitting 99% and 100% constantly. That's why. So I would literally have to lower the load on the GPU. Or let's try XeSS. Oh, you can use FSR frame gen with this? Oh, that's cool. Alright, ultra performance on Intel, XeSS, turn off ray tracing. Just make it, I gotta make the GPU load come down. I want to keep that because... We might not be able to do anything about it. That just might be it. It's just gonna have to run bad on stream. Because I want to see how much VRAM it's going to use. Yeah, using 12 gigs, 12 see that? 12.8? 12.8 gigs of VRAM. By the way, when seeing the overlay flashes to 0 on the GPU, that's because it's showing a B50 on the GPU system. That kind of fixes it. Yeah, running it at 720p upscale with the lowest preset and holding it at 60 with no frame gen. That is the way to fix the problem. See, too many problems, man. This is the reason why no one takes Intel GPU seriously when it comes to gaming. It's unusable for actually rendering the game. If you're gonna do anything like what I'm doing, where you're streaming. Like, okay, I'll be honest, just playing the game, no streaming, no recording, no nothing, just playing the game, it's okay, but why would someone settle for that though? When they can get a Radeon or a GeForce and not have to do that, like not have to be limited in such a way. This is the reason why Intel needs to really, like, I don't know, man. They need to invest so much effort into fixing this, and it just seems like it's a mountain that they don't want to climb. The picture of the game is stuttering? Oh, yeah, it is again? I thought I fixed it. That's as low as it can go. Alright, I'll do the ultimate thing. I'm gonna lower the in-game resolution to 1080p. There, that probably fixes it. Yeah, that fixes it. I think. Let's see, now we're doing, like, we're doing FSR, or XeSS upscale to 1080p. This looks terrible. It runs okay, though. It's totally fine on the stream. I don't know why it keeps showing the other GPU's stats, which are wrong. I don't know what that 0.3 out of 2 gig of VRAM on the Steam overlay is for the GPU. That is totally wrong. System RAM is now at 30 gigabytes out of 96 gigabytes. But hey, it's not stuttering for you guys. The picture quality looks terrible for me, but I mean, it's whatever, it's working. With a 60 FPS cap. Oh, man. Alright, guys, well, I mean, I guess this kind of concludes the showcase of Intel B70. It is what it is. I will say this, it is definitely better than the B580. It's definitely better than the B580 for gaming. But there's too many drawbacks, there's too many limitations. The performance is all over the place, it's not consistent. If you try to stream, you literally can't use it for streaming because it will lag the stream so badly. So you literally have to have a Ryzen CPU and integrated graphics, or you have to have another vendor's graphics card as a second graphics card. Like, you literally cannot use the GPU by itself to render and play the game simultaneously. It just doesn't work. For a single task, it's good. But this to me is not acceptable for someone who is not a tech enthusiast, for someone who is not experienced with how to work around these limitations. So yeah, this is why people are just going to continue to ignore Intel graphics cards for most mainstream use cases, because I would say gaming plus streaming is a relatively common use case for a graphics card these days. And the fact that it can't even do that consistently without all these drawbacks, without having to like set your in-game resolution to 720p and use copious amounts of upscaling and lower all the settings and never allow the GPU to go to 100% utilization, because then it turns into a PowerPoint slide presentation. Like, there's just way too many things, man. So it's better than last year, but it's still a long way to go to actually be usable. So I can't recommend. I keep coming back to these Intel GPUs at least on an annual or biannual basis, and it's just, I still can't recommend them. They're not in a position for where I feel confident in recommending them. So unfortunately I'm just gonna go back to recommending Radeon and GeForce. Radeon and GeForce for most people. I mean, that's really what it's gonna be. I mean, look at how muddy the game looks like this, like the image quality. It just looks so bad having to play it at a 1080p, like a resolution that's upscaling. It's probably like 360p or 144p upscaled to 1080p like this. It just looks so bad. Alright guys, well that is gonna do it for this look at the Intel ARC Pro B70. This is currently Intel's most powerful graphics card, so I did want to showcase it, at least like show what it can do, and you guys can see on screen. So we'll do the final outtake here. Let me open the case again, move the side panel so you guys can see. There it is. Things I like about it: for a blower style, it's not loud, it has a single 8-pin, doesn't use a ton of power, and it's a 2-slot form factor, so it's easy to put multiple GPUs in the same system. But other than that, I can't really recommend it for the average person. Like, the average user just shouldn't even bother. You're better off with, like, if you're looking for value, get Radeon. If you're looking for specific exclusive things, look at GeForce, and that's pretty much it. You would return the card? And I'm not going to return the card because I'm still going to test it with other things. I'm going to test it in AI workloads. But yeah, for gaming, it's okay if you're not streaming with it. The moment you try to stream with it, you have to cap to 60 FPS. You got to make sure that the GPU never goes to 99%, which is terrible because you want your GPU to be maxed out, because typically if it's not maxed out, you're hitting a CPU bottleneck. But in this case, we're not CPU bottlenecked. We're literally like we're imposing an artificial limit on the GPU so that it doesn't go to 100%, which is ridiculous, to be honest. But anyway, so the bottom line, final outtake is nothing changed. It still has the same limitations that I experienced last year with the B580, only now the GPU is more powerful and has more VRAM, so it can mask some of those limitations by going further in terms of performance before it hits those limits. That's the only difference. Anyway, it's still kind of a no-go for the average person, so I'm not going to recommend you go and get one of these. Unless you really like Intel GPUs for whatever reason, if you're like an Intel fanboy or something. But even then, you gotta pair it up with a Ryzen CPU if you want to do what I'm doing right now. We might do another stream featuring this GPU in an all Intel build, like with an Intel ARC, not Intel ARC, Intel Core Ultra. So this CPU. If you're curious in seeing how that goes, let me know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to install a Radeon GPU as a secondary GPU in order to not cause problems with the stream. But yeah, if we want to go like Intel plus Intel, even though technically we're going to have to use a Radeon GPU or an NVIDIA GPU to do the rendering like I'm doing right now. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll put that together. I've got the Intel Core Ultra literally right behind me, right here on the floor. That's my Intel Core Ultra desktop. And I recently found this thing in storage. I don't know if anybody recognizes what this thing is, but I found two things. I found this. I found this thing. You guys recognize this guy? I don't know if anyone can recognize what it is, but if you know what it is, congratulations. And the other one that I found is this thing. Where's the found this guy the other day too. Yeah, check this out. Check out that grill, man. And the little space shuttle with the little rocket. Look at that. I found these things. Look at that. Mega 01. And this guy with the blasters. And this cool looking thing over here. You see that? Alright, I guess nobody recognizes these things. Alright, anyway. That's going to be it for the stream. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will see you guys next time. Until then, take care, and I will see you then. Take care.